Oh, and here we are. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah! Second game. We're all on video. This is great. Welcome back, everyone. We are on now pretty much officially a 2-week schedule for the Adventures of the STDs. And the group name is still fantastic. It still makes me laugh. So here we are. You guys are picking up right after our last game in the middle of a 2-week kind of downtime break for all of you. You've accomplished some things. You've gone to a weird magical item shop. You've made some new allies and friends. You've met people from around Amon. And now we are starting on the morning of the first day of the Dragon's Defeat Festival. And you guys wake up to the sounds of an already very busy Amon. And Hazel, there is a knock at your door.
Come on in!
Oh, all right. And you see pushing through the door a young man. You recognize him as one of the people who kind of works for Allura. He's in the robes of a Lyceum student, and he has in his hands, he's a very slight man, so when he's holding these packages, he's kind of like, these were delivered for you? Where would you like them?
Ooh, thank you, I just take them.
Oh, okay, okay.
Like, take the packages.
Okay, so he offloads them, and it's like, oh, okay, yes, they were delivered a couple of hours ago from a Sarah.
Yeah!
And, okay, so they were expected, very good, and,
I'm now imagining large crates of strawberries.
brown paper wrapped with very pretty ribbon, and you see ribbons in different colors along with name tags on the front of all of these packages, and on the top, Hazel is yours.
She's so thoughtful. Okay, before I open mine, I go like to everyone's room and leave the package in front of everyone's door. Okay. Without knocking or something, just like leaving it there for everyone to find.
Okay. Alright. So you do that, you very quietly, you're stealthy anyways, very quietly go down the hallways. You do hear some rustling behind all of their doors as they're waking up and getting ready for the day, and then you head back. Where do you go?
You mean to which? Oh, but when I'm done?
Yeah, when you're done. Yeah.
When I'm done, I'll go back to my room and I'll open my package.
Okay. So you go back to your room and you open up this. It's very nice, just but simple brown paper. There is a bright red ribbon tied around it, an elaborate bow, and there's a little name tag on the front that says Hazel. And then when you flip it over, you do see in her kind of spidery handwriting a little thank you note from her that says, "You're always welcome at my fine establishment. If you ever need gold or just need to talk to a friend." And it's signed Sarah.
Oh, she's so sweet. I'll have to bring her some pastry sometime. and then I open the package.
Okay. Inside, beneath layers of kind of a tissue paper material, you do find a deep color blood red shirt with gorgeous white and gold trim, elaborate embroidery, and if you look closely at the thread where she has depicted little arrows and little animals all through the embroidery. But you have to look it's very fine stitching. That probably took her some time. And then you find underneath that soft but sturdy leather pants in a dark brown, and then a matching red sash that you can tie wherever you would like. You assume probably around your waist, and that also has elaborate gold and white trim and stitching on it.
Oh, this is awesome! Oh my god, I've never owned such fancy clothes before. I'll put them on over my creepy human skin.
The fanciest clothes over the
No, you know what?
creepiest
Like
thing.
it's a fancy occasion, and like these are a special present from a good friend. I'm gonna take off the skin thingy, put it under my bed or something, and put on the nice clothes so they don't get like, I don't know,
Tainted.
Yeah. That's for today.
Juju Magumbo, yeah.
Yeah. I'll put them on like over my armor if that works, and the pants.
Okay, and you do find under your collar the thing you had asked her about to stitch, so it is there. And you do notice the very last thing when you take all of these clothing out, buried beneath the tissue paper is a gorgeous feather. I need you to make a nature check. First roll of the game.
Oh my
Ooh.
On a feather.
Nature. +1. 8.
8. It's a really pretty feather. It looks
This is so pretty. I like
kind
stick it
of
behind
familiar.
my ear.
Okay, kind of familiar. It's got notes of brown and white, like you might expect from a common falcon or a bird like that, a bird of prey. But you notice running through it in fine lines, there is like a deep gold, kind of an amberish color running through some of the feathers.
Crap, how did she do that? She's so good. Yeah, and then I put the feather in my hair.
Okay. It looks very good. It looks very good in your white hair. You look very jaunty.
Yeah, and then I like press my ear to my own door and like wait until everyone gets up.
Okay.
I'm like waiting until I hear like footsteps in the hallway.
You do eventually hear doors start to open and people in the hallways. You're not sure if it's your companions or not. What are the rest of you? Are you doing anything before you're leaving your rooms?
No, I mean, I'm probably sleeping until I feel like getting up.
Fair enough. Okay. As you guys all open your doors one by one, you do see at your feet, just outside the door, brown packages wrapped in ribbon. And when you kind of look, you do see packages down the line.
You.
Does everyone want to open theirs?
Well, yeah, of course.
All right, I wasn't sure. Let's go down the line. So this was something that Hazel did. You guys don't know that though. So Ulren, there you are. Your package has a bright silver ribbon wrapped around it, and when you open that up, there is a vest, very fine, dark blue and gold and silver vest, and stitched onto the front of it is the symbol of the Allhammer.
Sweet.
And on the sides are, you have to kind of hold it out and look at it to get an idea of exactly what you're seeing. On the sides are these nebulous looking, they almost look like floating orbs of purple and blue. And you're like, oh wait, that kind of looks like that crazy thing that happened in the bottom of that manor.
Ooh.
In Timor Falls. They look like the orbs that you dispersed.
When we found out you were Dwarf Jesus.
Oh boy.
And on the back, in biker stitching, is Dwarf Jesus. Yes, no, that's...
oh, yes.
So, and there's a scarf that comes with it. It's in a silver. There's a slight shimmer to the material. So it's very, very finely made. All of this.
Nice.
Volcar, when you open this up, the darkest, deepest black you've ever seen meets your gaze in this vest. And you see this vest has sleeves, and along the sleeves are stitched silver and gold lightning bolts. All down the line. And the scarf that comes with it is a purple that matches the purple on your armor.
Nice.
Alicia, you open this up. Not a vest, not a pants and shirt, but gorgeous dark blue robes made out of a fine velvet material, and there is just elaborate scroll work all along the shoulders, like scrolled pauldrons almost, stitched in gold thread. They look a little bit like Lyceum symbols, but not enough where you would be, causing issues, but there's a similarity there. And then Naraxis, you open yours up and there's a vest done in pure traditional draconian style. So the thick, pointed shoulders, fitted body, there are sleeves on this vest. The material is a dark red-brown, almost a rust color, and the scarf that comes with it is a dark olive green.
Cool.
So you guys have party clothes. So you can put those on if you want. I need everybody but Hazel, as you're putting these on, to make investigation checks.
Ew. Investigation.
Six.
Okay.
14.
14.
7.
Oh, 17.
Okay.
Should even be 18 because of Jack of all trades.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so 18. So Elysian and Volkar, you guys are putting these items on. Notice the fine quality, the elaborate stitching. And then you notice, kind of just as you're playing around with the material in your hands, you notice underneath the collars, in the very back in the center, is a small, very small, stitched tree in silver thread. And
Cool.
then beside that is an empty circle in silver thread. But you guys
An empty
notice this.
circle.
Yep. It's very, very,
Huh.
very tiny, all of this. Yeah.
History check? Or have I heard? You can't just say I haven't heard or seen it.
No. This is slightly different in what this is. You might want to ask Hazel.
Okay.
Okay.
They don't know from whom the packages
No.
are.
No, but you might want to check. You might want to check with your companions.
Yeah.
Oh, did it say on the package who this is from?
It has your name only.
Okay,
It's a little name tag on it.
cool.
So you guys have these fancy new festival party clothes. You guys come out of your doors and you look good. You look really good. You look like pros now.
I-
Yeah.
I don't think I put mine on until after breakfast because I don't want to get anything on them.
Now all we need is a pro name.
There you go.
Hey, we have a pro name.
Very pro.
It's not pro.
Morning, everyone. You look great.
So do you.
Yeah.
I take it this was you.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Make a deception check.
Inside check.
Yep.
Inside check.
Inside check. Hazel,
You
make
are
a
the worst
make
at
either
keeping
a.
secrets.
Oh
What'd you roll?
no! I rolled a 2.
2.
My insight is -1.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea.
All right.
14, 19.
0, but it's actually 1 with Jack of all trades.
She is lying. Orin and Naraxis, she is lying through her frickin' teeth. And she's grinning and she can't stop herself.
And yeah, since Volkar doesn't actually know anyone very well, he's pretty sure she tells the truth. Because why would she lie?
Well, thank you, whoever it was, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Alora.
Yeah, people are so nice in this city. It's awesome.
Yes, people.
We should really find out who it was so we can thank them. I don't want to get a gift and not thank the person.
That is true. Maybe we could find out who made them and go to them and say thank you.
Yes. Sounds like
Yeah.
a brilliant idea.
I agree.
You guys look good. I mean, the clothes are very finely made. They clearly cost a bit of gold. And as you guys are eating and talking, you do see Laura walk through, greet all of you, and she just mentions that she'll see you at the opening ceremonies if you plan to attend. She will be there closer to the stage. You're welcome to join her. Get kind of like, not VIP, seats, but you can get a little closer because there will be a press. There'll be a crowd there.
Yeah.
And then she runs off. Elysia, in one of your pouches you have on your side, you feel a weird little, jolt.
I take out or try and find out what made it.
Sure.
I'm guessing it's the scroll?
It's the scroll. You dig around for a little bit, and then you feel that jolt again, and the scroll that Yurik had given you is almost vibrating.
I take it out and...
Vibrating scroll?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's ringing. Yeah. There's no phones in this world, but if a scroll could ring...
I see.
If a scroll could ring, it's...
Horrible second, I thought the new clothes had fleas.
It's a text message.
Yeah, it's a text message.
I take it out and read.
Okay.
Whatever he sent.
Sorry, coffee. Yeah, you open it up, and as you look at the scroll, words are printed along it, and it alerts you to the fact that he has almost finished his investigation of this object that you got from the Feywild, and it will be a couple of days, and if you could find Tirax immediately, he can give you more information.
We need to find Tirax, it looks like. I think it said it was going to be at the festival.
Yeah, I think basically everyone is going to be at the festival.
Yeah.
I mean, he should at least be easier to spot with, these gestures that like horns.
Well...
He did mention he would be at the opening ceremony.
Right, everyone's going to be at the opening ceremony.
I think there are more chieflings here than there are more cats. I don't think it'll be easier, but... easy, but easier, perhaps.
He stands out. You do see tieflings, but they're more of the either pale pink or the red coloration. He's definitely different with his color. That dark blue. Nightcrawler tiefling.
Yeah.
What I always think when I picture him is basically Nightcrawler. So you guys finish up. You have the day ahead of you. You guys do have, I did put in Roll20 that schedule of things that you wanted to try to do. No guarantee that you'll be able to, get to all of them. But you do know that the opening ceremony is in the afternoon. Is there anything anybody wanted to do in the morning before that happened?
Mm. Let me review that schedule.
Sure. Yeah. And actually, I can grab it again and put it up on the screen.
Well, you posted it in the...
I did, yes.
The thing...
Yeah, it's in the journal. It's in the campaign journal.
Dragon's Defeat Festival schedule. There it is. Opening ceremony, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah, no, don't have anything else.
Okay.
And I need to plug my headphones because battery. Hold on.
Maybe just go down.
All the side quests seem to be out of town.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys want to walk around the festival and just see the sights and smell the smells and see what's going on.
Eat the food.
Eat the food. It's like fair food to the max out here, and it is bustling. There are more people in this city. You're starting to wonder where everyone's staying. There are that many people in the streets, and there's this just air of joy and everything happening. You hear music off in the background. You see people going in and out of taverns. And since yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, basically amp up St. Patrick's Day by about 1 million. And you have lots of people already probably into their cups just a little bit more than they should be earlier.
Yeah.
Some of that going on. I'm gonna knock that sound down. There we go. And you do happen to pass by some interesting things that are going on. You do see some games. You see different kinds of things that you can, it's like a ring toss. There's some kind of a strength, like show of strength. You pay a gold and you guys hear the barker, "Come one, come all, come show how strong you are. Defeat Thordak." Kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, I gotta have a go.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Me too.
All right. So
I wanna.
We have to play Dragon Hammer. Come on, this is
kind
like...
of what
Yeah.
it is. It's like whack-a-mole a little bit, but with a weird effigy of Thordak on the top of this pillar, and you pick up the hammer, and you pay the gold, you pick up the hammer, and you swing it down onto the pallet, and you see how high you can raise Thordak until he... And of course you want to get him to smack into the top and crush his head. So the Barker, the guy who's running this game, is, haha, it's just a gold piece! Win! You could win all kinds of prizes! And he's got, like, little bags of candy if you don't raise it that high. He's got, like, basically the fantasy version of stuffed animals. He's got an interesting pair of leather boots. There's just this, like, bric-a-brac that you could win. And you see this one guy come up. He's already staggering a little bit. He's probably had a few too many. He's like, I got this! There's the gold. Slaps it into the Barker's hand. Rolled a 17. Swings the hammer down. It's a human man, probably in his 40s. Swings the hammer down. You hear that bing! Thordak, this little weird effigy of Thordak, raises, almost hits the top, and then slams back down. And he goes, ha! You almost defeated him, but not quite. Can anyone get the killing blow on Thordak? Who wants to go?
I want to go first.
I'm gonna crack my knuckle and step forward.
Okay. Alright, so it's a gold piece.
Yep, I already removed it.
Alright, he'll take your gold. He'll hand you the sledgehammer. It's got a good weight to it. Definitely not fake by any means. And I need you to roll a strength check.
Of course. Here's to hoping for a good roll, because, you know, +5 is nice and all, but you need the dice. Yeah, see, that's
Okay.
that was a bad swing.
It was a little just, the palette seems to be maybe slightly crooked, and when you hit it, it just doesn't go down the way you expect it would. And he raises about a third of the way and then slams back down, and the Barker goes, bad luck. But here, and he hands you a bag of candy.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a really good prize.
Who else would like to try to defeat Thordak?
I look at how much gold I have, and then I realize, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna lose.
Same here.
Yeah, why not? It's a festival. You've got to...
There's a slight crowd around. They're all watching, very interested.
Go Naraxis.
All right, strength check, Naraxis.
Yep.
Okay.
Do I trust the die?
I don't know, do you?
Well, I did, and it didn't pay off.
Sure, I'll trust it. I'll go with the actual dice. I'm not.
Oh.
22.
Holy shit!
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was hoping for.
You guys see Noraxis kind of wind up and bring that hammer down, and not only does Thordak hit the top of this pillar, he kind of smashes through it a little bit. And the Barker looks at you, and looks at his game, and looks back at you again, and he's like, alright, the game defeat Thordak with a hammer is now shut down for repairs.
Oh no.
Take your prize, and he hands you a plushie. It's basically a plushie Thordak.
Oh, nice.
A bag of candy, and a nice pair of but basic leather boots that probably a couple sizes too small for you.
I look at Naraxis and I'm like, yep, that's what I was hoping for.
Oh, you wanted the plushie, Walker?
I meant the results, not the plushie.
I didn't mean to break his...
It's like, no, don't worry about it. It's okay. He brings his voice down out of Barker level. This is a halfling man, very jauntily dressed, you know, got a top hat and everything. And he comes over to you and he's like, right, so I'm actually going to use that to my benefit. I'm going to proclaim that I had a dragonborn not only defeat Thordak, but break my game, and we'll see if I'm going to charge 2 gold pieces from now on, and kind of wanders off.
Okay.
Maybe...
He doesn't seem mad, he's just kind of baffled.
Right.
Does anyone think these shoes will fit? I'm just like holding them up. Yeah.
They're halfling-ish size. I mean, they're very nice.
Yeah.
They don't have any properties that you can tell. They look like they were well made, though.
It's like stuff the plushie in a boot so the head's sticking out. Like...
The plushie's actually pretty cute. His little scales are all shimmery. If he hadn't been such an atrocity, it would be cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys see other gambling games. You see a wheel game where you bet on what color it'll land on. It's like roulette almost. But you see this big color wheel and people are spinning it and betting gold and either winning or losing. You see all kinds of food stands. Your nose takes you from stand to stand and you pass the morning. It's very pleasant. It's a beautiful, beautiful late spring day. And everything is, for the first time, calm. For the first time since you guys came together, things are calm. And it's nice. And it's nice to be able to celebrate together and walk and explore and not have to worry about dead gods and a weird sash and odd magic and being dwarf Jesus and there's just this air of you guys are just 5 companions wandering around a festival lost in a crowd of anonymity.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's been calm the whole time, but...
Right.
I just arrived.
The morning passes, and then you start to see people begin to flock towards the head of the central district outside the cloud top, and you guys wander from Abdar's around to where you know the stage is for the opening ceremony. And as you approach, you kind of have to push through people a little bit. You do see Allura and you do see Kima. They're closer to the stage. And on the stage walks the rest of the Council of Taldore. And you see, most of you have never really seen her. You've seen drawings of her, but Salda Taldore. As she approaches the front of the stage, and you see a gentleman off to the side cast something. He moves his hands, and then suddenly her voice projects. So you casters know he'd probably cast thaumaturgy, would be your guess. Yeah. And this is a human woman with long brown hair and vibrant purple and blue robes. And you see some older kids behind her. And she steps up to the front as the banners and the flags flutter in the breeze. And she says, "Citizens, friends, and guests, welcome to the Dragon's Defeat Festival. This is our chance to celebrate the defeat of Thordak and his evil plans, a chance to celebrate our lives and the rebuilding of our city and the healing of all of Taldore. And it is our chance to recognize the many heroes of that day when Thordak was felled. We lost so many in that fight and the battles previous. My husband, the Sovereign, lost his life when the dragons first attacked. And while he is not with us today, I know he would be proud of every single one of you for your bravery, your resilience, and your generosity. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention those who slayed not one, not two, but all of the dragons who tried to take our land and our lives. And so with this statue and this day, I declare the members of Vox Machina to be the official heroes of Taldore." And behind her, in a large drape, suddenly it's pulled down, and you see this statue, 25 feet tall, of the members of Vox Machina. And she says, "It will be in the Cloud Top district. It will sit here between the Central and the Cloud Top. And as well as many smaller versions of this statue placed in all of the major cities of Taldore to recognize their bravery and their selflessness. And so we celebrate. Please eat and drink and be merry, for this is the reclaiming of Taldore." And this cheer goes up from the crowd, and you all are swept up in this moment. And two things happen.
Oh yeah, I'm cheering too. I wasn't there, but I'm cheering.
Heck yeah. You guys do see Ulrin, you see off to your side a familiar tiefling coming toward you. And Hazel, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
Huh?
That hooded figure, Hazel, you spoke with, is behind you.
Yeah.
And Tirax is coming up to the left and sees all of you and smiles. He's wearing different colored vests. Looks very jaunty. He's got like a wreath over one horn. And sees all of you and then sees the hooded figure and eyeballs it and looks back at all of you just kind of waiting.
So he doesn't seem to know that person.
Not from his expression, but you also can't see this person's face.
Right.
So
I watch the figure and see if he or she does anything or they do anything.
Yeah, when
they-
T-Rex looks, I look over my shoulder and notice this new person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some of you have seen this figure before. It's definitely familiar. It followed you the week previous. Very dark, black leathers, red trim around the hood and on the edges of different pieces of the armor. And it leans into you, Hazel, and that same voice. And they say, I'd like to speak with all of you somewhere not this public, if possible.
Okay. I say, all right, lead the way. And I like look at everyone else and like make a sign to follow.
Tirax is kind of eyeballing, and he's not sure. There's hesitation on his face.
I kind of shrug and I go like, well, there's quite a few people who want to meet and talk, right?
I'm sorry, do you know them? Am I missing something?
I don't really know them, but they have information that's important to me. I feel like if they wanted to attack us, they already could have.
Can I insight check just to?
The figure?
Yeah, just to see
Sure.
if what their intentions are.
Sure.
No, I got a 1.
Okay. With the covering from head to toe, you don't see the glint of weapons, but it's hard to be able to make that out. You know that weapons can be hidden very easily with the right armor. And Tirax is kind of... He says, I am going to go with you more out of curiosity. And he kind of looks at the figure, and the figure whips its head over to him, and they say, you guys, this is the first time you all are hearing... You've heard this person individually, except for Neuraxis. And they say, I am an ally, as it suits my needs for now. I'm certainly not going to try to kill anybody in the middle of a crowded city with the arms of Amon 5 feet from me. Besides, you have something I want, so it's a trade. I recommend a tavern. I was going to head off to the Golden Phoenix anyways. There are sheltered booths there that can be... I've already purchased one for the day. What are you guys going to do?
How late in the afternoon is it? Or is it
pushing
like
3 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, you're mid-afternoon.
There's something about Flux on here, but I don't know who Flux is.
Friend.
Yeah,
Mine.
Alicia's moist friend.
Yeah. Moist friend.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
And Alicia, if you do want to look around,
I was gonna say I'm just casually looking around. My passive perception is shit, so the chance of me seeing them is slim.
just make a perception check. I mean,
You're
you
like-
are in a
like
crowd.
this big in a crowd of
Oh.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I rolled well.
Okay.
So that is a 15.
15. You do see some Lyceum robes. You see a couple of familiar students who you've passed through the hallways over the course of these last several days. And then way off to the side, you do see a familiar watery figure, kind of looking for you as well, but also because they are taller, they're looking down and they don't quite, they're kind of trying to look, for your very small form. But they do start kind of making their way toward you, not out of they saw you, but just trying to look.
They happen to be looking in the right direction.
Yeah, they're scanning the crowd. They're kind of headed towards you. They're a little more southwest of you at this point, but they're starting to make their way closer to the stage.
Yeah.
Man, we sure are popular.
You have some interesting conflicts, some interests going on here.
So,
Yeah. Oh.
Do you want to motion to them, or...
I want to try and motion to them, yes,
Sure.
and probably say that, hey, I have something come up, but I'll meet you tomorrow if you want to.
Okay.
If I manage to get their attention.
They do
Fine, the hoodie can
eventually,
wait.
for the sake of it, they do eventually find you and then realize that there's this look of hesitation on their face like, I walked into something I don't understand right now. Something's going on here. There's a tension in the air. But they do kind of lean in towards you and they say, just find me. I'll be at the Lyceum tomorrow morning or whenever. Just message me. It's okay.
Thank you. I don't know what's happening right now.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to tell you, I didn't find anything really else other than a couple of things that aren't super important, but you might find interesting as a
Thank you so
student of
much.
history. Sure. You guys see
Thank you
this.
for your help.
The rest of you have never met this person. It is a clearly a water genasi who's in more of their water form at this point. Amorphous, the dark blue and silver robes of the Lyceum on them, and they have a very almost zen-like presence to them. They're very calm. They look at all of you and kind of wave and then start to leave like, oh, sorry.
No. Talk to you later.
Bye. And they wander off, and you see them join a group of Lyceum students. It looks like they're all heading off into the festival. Tyrax is gonna look at all of you. I say we go. If trouble starts, well, we know how to get out of trouble, don't we?
Rex just pats the dagger on his hip, like, it'll be fine, I'm sure.
Okay. This figure starts to lead you guys. A few of you have been to the Golden Phoenix. Lead you to this bustling tavern. And as you walk in, actually,
This is the same tavern that the
there we go. That's better.
contest, the bard contest, is gonna be at, right?
It is. You guys walk in, and this place is busy. And so this, I actually need to get you guys copied over, but as you guys walk in, you do see there are already performers on the stage. Looks like this has been going for a while. And as you guys walk in, you do see two people, fire eaters,
Ooh.
blowing fire while this woman dances between the flames. And she
You better be
seems to
careful, it's all wood.
She seems to be bending the flames one way or another. They're moving the fire back and forth. I'm going to get you guys... We haven't had your tokens for a little bit, so I'm going to get you guys copied over as you guys walk in. And I actually have to find you guys. I haven't used this in a while.
We are lost.
But you guys walk in, and this person leads you over to... I will put them on the map here. Person leads you over to this booth over here in the corner where Tyrax already is. I had him on there. And they are going to sit and motion for the rest of you to sit. Is there anything you guys want to do?
No, I'm just gonna sit. I'm kind of curious.
I'll take a look around before we sit. Like,
Okay.
I don't want to sit down and there's 6 huge guys behind me.
Okay.
Yeah,
you can make a perception check. Your passive is pretty high too, so. But you can make a perception check for sure. There's a crush of people in here. tables are starting to fill up.
24.
24. No. Doesn't seem to be anybody menacing. You do see a couple of guards, the arms of Amon, just kind of here. They look like they're on special duty, maybe. Hired, to kind of keep the peace, make sure people don't get too rowdy and crazy.
Yeah.
Bartenders moving back and forth. The bar's over here. More people starting to fill up these seats. There's a roaring fire. The room is a little warm. And then Tirax sits, but he's on the edge. He's going to stay there. And the figure motions, pulls the curtain over this booth you guys are in here. And then they pull back their hood, and you see a drow.
Ooh.
A woman with dark red hair with white streaks through it. Big scar across her jawline. It looks old, though. It has that shininess to it that's starting to fade, that scars get. And she looks at all of you, and she says, "So, Hazel knows me, as I know her. And I've met most of you." Briefly, true. "I have business with all of you. My understanding is that you were accosted by certain members of the Shade Watch."
Oh, those meanies.
Understatement.
Well, I haven't been, but
She looks at you.
that's the business.
There was another dwarf, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was.
Yes.
I'm assuming his absence is not an issue.
No.
Fair enough. She lays a dagger down on the table. It's a different looking dagger. She says, "That is my business with all of you."
I look at the dagger.
Sure.
I look at the dagger.
All make general intelligence checks.
Oh boy.
Sure.
General intelligence.
4.
16.
Okay.
7.
I got a 13.
13. All right. Alicia and...
Wait. Yeah.
13? Okay. Alicia and Volkar. Well, no, just Alicia, actually. Volkar,
Oh.
never seen this before. Alicia,
Okay.
you've seen this before. This is the same metal that the death scarab was made out of that attacked you in the tomb.
Ooh.
This is my business with all of you. I have done some contract work for the Shade Watch previously, and then I found out that they tried to assassinate a group of adventurers over a book.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not happy with them currently. Not because of what they tried to do to you, but because of what they tried to do to me, and I figured enemy of my enemy might be an ally. Certainly not friends, I don't make those. But an ally could be useful.
Do you know what the Shade Watch are currently up to?
So they asked me to hunt down a monster in the Bramblewood Forest. That's where my interaction with them started. This was about 6 months ago. Mentioned that there's a gorgon in the woods. It's assaulting people. Go kill it. Bring it back. We'll pay you for it. I do bounty work. That's my job. So I thought, sure. I go to hunt this thing. I go to the cave where it was spotted and found it dead. And this
Well, that's nice.
dagger in its back. useful looking dagger, so I took it. I go to leave the cave. I also noted something. I should mention that. The Gorgon scales and Gorgon claws are valuable. Usually as trophies, right? You sell them. They're used in different armor, for weapons, that type of thing. All of its scales had been stripped. All of its claws had been gone. Its heart was also removed. Not odd. Gorgon hearts aren't worth anything that I know of. So I leave, and I'm attacked by Shade Watch, archers, and a strange creature that I've only ever seen in the deserts of Marquette that looked half snake, half human.
Ew.
And they had
We've
more of
seen
these
those
daggers.
guys.
So I take a contract. They try to kill me. And I start looking for other people they've tried to kill, and I run across all of you. So I thought we would have interests aligned.
Do you have any idea why they tried to kill you? I mean, they tried to kill us over the book, but...
I haven't been able to figure that out. I've been too busy looking over my shoulder most of this time.
I guess it would depend on who actually got rid of that creature before you got there.
I'm going to guess it was probably Shade Watch.
Why would they hire you then?
I don't know.
Probably to kill her.
I have a little bit of a vendetta against them, as you might imagine. I don't like it when people try to kill me.
Yeah. I get that.
So I thought that finding people who had been also targeted by these crazy motherfuckers might be useful tools in my belt, and I could be useful to you.
Also, why was the snake woman with them?
What is a Yuan Ti doing here?
Haven't you met snake creatures before we met? Look at everyone.
Yeah, but they were
Yes.
alone. Well,
And a long way from here.
Yeah.
Marquette.
Right. That's a bit far, huh?
But
Hey.
they had a goal,
D-
which was not good.
No. No, it's not.
Do you know where the Shade Watch is currently stationed? Are they still in Joran Village? I think is where they were originally.
The closest I got was a village about 2 days out of Joran. It's actually a little bit closer to Western. It's called Irwin. And they were also being pestered by Shade Watch. So they seem to be spreading out of Joran. Everything I know is that they use Joran as their home base, and they're spreading out in a web, so to speak. Purpose unknown. I haven't been able to glean that.
Well, I heard they have a new leader who's been leading them in unusual directions.
Unusual how?
In many ways.
I know that they harass innocent people, and I don't like that.
Same.
I actually wanted to look into that myself, but it depends what the rest of these people want to do.
I'm up for hunting them down.
I don't take kindly to banditry, especially not by serpents.
Like I said, enemy of my enemy. I'd be willing to do reconnaissance. I'd be willing to get as close to Joran as possible. My services don't come for free, though.
Wait, you want to ally with us, but you want us to pay you?
It's a business.
Yeah. So maybe our alliance costs something too.
What would you want?
Whatever you were gonna ask for.
I work in gold. Or, and she looks at you, Hazel. Or this one's assistance at a later point.
In like, you know, the hunting type of work.
You and I are looking for the same person.
That is true. Well, I'm not entirely sure what your motives are yet. I'll have to be certain that it's for a good purpose. But I'm willing to work together.
That'll work for me. Just know that I may need her assistance. And if you all are a package deal, then I'll take everyone's help.
I'm sure.
Besides, I have to head that way anyways, as I told you, and she's still looking at you, Hazel. She's not even really worried about the rest of the party too much. Besides, I have to get to the Grey Valley at some point, and it's close enough to Joren.
I cannot speak for my companions, but I really need to go there at some point.
And perhaps...
I was planning to, and I was hoping they'd accompany me, but depending on their plans, I would also go there alone.
Well, then perhaps after we get our vengeance on the Shade Watch, that's where we go.
The world could do with fewer problems, I suppose.
Well, they
What do
certainly
you
seem
think,
to
Owen?
have something going on.
Does the dagger seem magical or look weird? Like, I've probably just been staring at it this whole time. And drinking.
The more you stare at it, yeah, the drinking's not an issue. The more you stare at it, the more you're like, oh shit, that's that metal. That's that death scarab metal. But it took you a little bit longer to get to that point.
Yeah, probably pretty buzzed. I'm like on a good level.
There you go. Yeah. You're good.
If it's like Pat's, then yes, I'm at a very good level. And still just waning off of it.
There you go. It doesn't seem magical. It's just very foreign to you. You haven't done any work with this metal yet.
So, identify wouldn't really tell me much. Cast, okay.
Yeah, you don't think so.
All right.
It's very sharp. It's very sharp. It looked like it could cut through God knows what at this point, but it's deadly looking, and the edge also has it's kind of jagged, so it's like it has teeth cut into it. It's finely made for sure.
Okay.
She actually pushes it towards you, Ulrin, and she says, "Consider that my offering, my hand in friendship, while our interests ally." I'm heading to Joren at the end of the week. I have more business in Amon.
So do we.
Very good.
How much? What is the? Sorry, shit. The dagger, is it worth less than however much my my thingy is? My channel divinity. Sorry, it's
okay.
It's early. It's very early.
Ulrin was partying hard last night. You're gonna have to make a check. Oh boy. Make an intelligence check.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. That's the thing that best fits. It's a complicated question.
Well, you could maybe, he has crafting with metals and all that. Just a suggestion, but go with intelligence, but with proficiency maybe.
Yeah, I would say you could add the proficiency bonus to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then,
So +3.
17.
Okay. it's probably very valuable. As
Okay. So I wouldn't be able to make a copy of it.
No, potentially rare.
Okay.
Your idea of this, because you've only seen it a couple of times, this could be something you definitely don't want to maybe mess with until you understand it a little bit better.
I'm thinking about it, we did get adamantine as trade, so it's like, or mithril as trade, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
She is sitting there. She says, if we're to agree to this, I require not a contract, an assurance. And I make my assurances in blood, so.
Fancy.
Hazel, I need you to make a history check.
Okay. Uh, 11.
Okay. You recall Camilla mentioning something along this line. It was kind of just an offbeat comment at one point during your stay with her, that blood hunters make their assurances in blood. And it makes sense.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I look at her and I say, yeah, I'm ready. You have my word and my blood. And I, like, take out one of my daggers and, like, cut my hand a bit.
Okay. She leans down and licks the blood off your hand. And you feel this pop in your veins. All of a sudden, you're too hot for about 2 seconds. And when you look at her, you see this image of a bear very quickly. And that's gone.
That's not creepy at all.
The rest of you did not see this. Only Hazel did.
I bow my head to her a bit in, like, respect. And then I look at everyone else and say, just be aware that if you enter this contract, then you probably won't get out of it so easily. So you should be aware of that.
I think Naraxis just like chuckles and looks at like his left sleeve and pulls the like dagger out from his waistband and just pulls it across his hand.
Okay. She does not lick the blood from your hand. She slaps her hand against it, and you feel this odd burning sensation for just a second. Like you got way too close to a bonfire. And if you had eyebrows, you would be wanting to check them for just a moment.
Yeah, that's not
That's not a problem for you.
Yeah.
It was a little too hot for about half a second.
Are we all supposed to do this?
Yeah, do you all have to?
Do you ask her that?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you were saying that as a player or a character. She looks at the rest of you and she says, I usually only require this agreement from 2 or 3 of a group. Knowing that those who do not commit to this physically, if you leave, if you abandon it, I won't take it out on your companions. Those who do agree with me, if you abandon it, then that's another issue.
Yeah, man. And Eilish takes her dagger and cuts.
Okay. Same thing happens to you.
Yeah.
She puts her hand down. You're starting to see her hand, her dark gray blue skin is sticky with everybody's blood. And when she moves her hand towards yours, you see the blood on her palm moving.
Weird.
Mm.
Same thing. You got a little too close to a bonfire. That's what you feel like for about half a second. You start to like check your hair just to make sure it's not like burning. What are the dwarves doing?
drinking and thinking.
Okay. She's just sitting
Just
there
drinking.
very
I'm not
patiently.
thinking.
I guess I'll take a gulp, and then I'll like slam the mug down, and I'll say, "Hey, I'll
I drink and I know things.
I'll say, so what exactly did you have in mind on our part to this little agreement of yours?"
Come with me to Joren. We figure out what the Shade Watch are doing. And you let me take my vengeance, and you do what you need to do. We can partner, we can go about our own ways when we get to Joren, but I do expect a trade of information and intelligence. So if you find out something dangerous, if you find out something useful, and I trade the same information. I will just have you know, cleric, I don't harm innocent people.
All right.
That's not something I do.
I never assumed you did.
Most people
just
assume
wondering.
drow are evil, so.
I don't like to make stereotypes of certain races before I get to know the actual person involved.
T-Rex is watching all of this, and he's looking at all of you, and he's looking at her, and he leans in and he says, I believe I know who this is. As long as you don't betray her, you'll be fine.
I trust her.
I had no intention of betraying her, so I just wanted to
would.
know what exactly I was getting my blood involved with. So it's a little creepy, but...
He says, I am not making this agreement. I'm with them. And she nods and says, I wasn't going to ask you anyways.
I mean, it's hardly the first time we've killed serpents or dealt with creepy things now, is it? And he just looks at it like...
Yeah, sounds kind of like a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. She holds her hand out to you, Oren, and you're seeing the blood is starting to move into a symbol. Can't quite make it out yet.
I'll have a little sacred flame going on my hand, just a little bit. Slight.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'll put out my hand, and when she grasps it, I'll tell her about Arhana, the leader.
Okay.
I'll tell her about the ambush that we had, just for brevity, the little ambush that we had, and the information that we gleaned from that. And I'll also take one of the Shade Watch patches that we have, and I'll give it to her, and tell her that if she needs to use it for sneaking and stuff, and like to infiltrate, that it'll help her if she wants to get in and get more information and glean more intel. That she's probably better off using one of these to sort of get in to it. They get into their groups or whatever and try and just walk around and see what she could find. So.
Okay. She looks at you and then looks at the patch. Huh. That's a very good idea. I could probably make my way in with this. I was going to have to do a lot more sneaking around, ducking townspeople and Shade Watch with... Oh. I didn't know clerics of the Allhammer were so stealthy.
Don't judge a book by its cover. Just ask Alicia.
Fair enough. She takes the patch and she says, I can make use of this. And you guys make this agreement. She shows no reaction to the sacred flame on your hand. Nothing.
Good.
Doesn't bat a frickin' eye. She looks at Volkar. One left.
Yeah, if it's all the same to you, I'm gonna stay out of it. I have my own reason to do this, and I will do it. But I don't get into blood pact type things with strangers. No offense.
None taken.
Is the curtain to the booth drawn? Like no one other
Yeah,
than
it's you
who's
guys
in
are
with us can see?
sheltered. Yeah.
Oh well, In that case, I can put most people at ease. There's like, I just don't panic, and the axe will just slowly appear on the table, and immediately he's just staring at the gems. Like, are they going to vibrate, or are we fine? Like, do we have a problem? Like,
No.
just give it a minute. Okay,
No. Just wait.
Long pause.
Yeah, and then he just
Nothing.
like throws it up and it disappears again.
Okay. Not a thing. Didn't register. She takes no offense, Volkar, at this. She says, if you're with them and your interests align with theirs, then I assume I have one more ally. That's all I need. Those of you who made the pact, I need you to add 10 temporary hit points.
Damn.
Oh, Lord.
For how long?
You don't know.
Forever.
Fine, I don't need them.
Well,
I do.
Hopefully for the pit fight.
I get and lose them like all the time. It's fine.
You guys do see as she pulls her hand back, there is a symbol now in blood on her hand. It is a red circle with a dagger pointing north. Hazel, you have seen this symbol before. It's the symbol of the Claret Order.
I like look at her like with an look of like respect and admiration.
Okay. She looks at you and now you understand why I have a vested interest in Camilla.
Yeah.
She's gone missing, and we were partners for some time. I trust her above almost anyone else.
So do I.
Good to know.
Sorry, who?
Hazel's, I don't know, teacher, friend. I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Mentor?
Yes, she is my mentor, and I've been trying to find her for some time.
Right.
I owe her a lot.
She stands and goes to the curtain and nods at all of you and says, I will see you in Joren in 5 days. Don't rush on my account. I will spend any time between my arrival and yours trying to infiltrate and find information. But if you see me, you don't know me. Agreed?
Good.
Understood.
Doers.
Wonderful.
I will not remember you in 5 days.
So 5 days. How long does it take from Iman to Joren?
Good question.
5 days.
That's a good point. If we stay at the festival
If she wants us to
20
be
days.
there in 5 days,
But we have to go
and
to...
I need to stay at least 2 more days.
That's true, yeah.
No, we have to also go to Singorn to talk with about the thing we found in the Feywild.
That too.
At that prompting, Elysia, she has already left, and she puts her head back in for just a moment, and she says, just do me a favor. I will give you my name, but remember, you've never heard of me. Ms. Zolan, at your service. And she leaves.
Have I heard that thing before?
Make
Has that fun?
Make a history check.
Well, Miss Ray seems nice enough.
She is gone.
I am
Okay.
not from around here.
Is she a person of some renown or anything?
Did you make your history check?
Oh,
Yeah,
No, you cut
make a
off.
history check for me. Sorry about that.
you cut off, so I missed that. Let's see. History, I am proficient, which means I get another +3 to that.
Ooh.
That being a mere 12, but that puts me at 15.
Okay. Yeah. She is largely spoken of, if anyone says her name, as a treasure hunter.
Mm-hmm.
But she is also a handful of people who, if you hear her name, you should run the other way.
Right.
That's the
So
whisper.
treasure hunter and bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of a fair bit of renown in certain circles.
Right.
She was really cool.
Did I recognize that symbol on her hand? Or would I have never heard of it?
You wouldn't
Like,
be in
no way.
any position to have. You don't recognize it as a religious
Yeah.
symbol. It's
Because that's what I would have thought it was.
right. It's never graced a temple, to your knowledge.
Yeah, only reason I asked is because I'm a bard and bard know random shit, so.
Right. Random shit, and they know the best stories, and she's got some good
Yeah.
ones tied to her.
Yeah.
Deadly. Super deadly. If she works with people, she still manages to work alone, and that's aligning with the interaction you just had.
Yeah.
Tyrax is going to pull the curtain back, and he's like, well, that's a person I never thought I would encounter. She's a story most of the time.
Yeah, I actually heard a couple of their stories. She's legit.
Legit, and also slightly terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I understand. He kind of looks at all of you. He's, this is the first time you guys have seen him. He looks a little more at peace. Seems to be calmer. And smiles at all of you and has someone bring a bunch of drinks and food over, and Elysia, he's looking at you and he says, I'm assuming you got the notice.
Yes.
Yurik sent me one as well. In about 3 days, he'll be ready. And I have a way to get us back to Singorn, and if you all are headed on to Joren, I would recommend not maybe heading there directly. Just if there's weirdness going on, I don't know that you want to drop into the middle of the dragon's den, so to speak.
I mean, I could do with skirting toward Craghammer. I don't know if that's on the way. I'm not familiar with
Opposite direction.
your continent.
Yeah.
Joren is kind of in the middle. It's south of Whitestone. There are little villages and hamlets on the way there. That might be a good stopping point. If the Shade Watch is spreading out, you may be able to start in one of those smaller places.
Right.
So our journey would be from here to Singorn, and then from Singorn to Joren and the surrounding villages.
Yeah, Yurik can get you there, or at least close enough, depending on how close you want to get. She mentioned what was that village she mentioned?
Irwin or something?
Irwin, I believe. I'm not familiar. It's probably very, very small.
Yeah, it was Irwin.
Okay. It's probably very small. That might be a decent starting point. If you have a map, you could probably find it. Or maybe not, depending on how small it is. It's just a thought. That is personally what I would do. I'm not fond of dropping into the middle of hotspots anyways.
That's exactly what I'm fond of, but in this case, it might not be the best idea.
I mean, sometimes you have to rip it out at its core, I guess, but I mean...
He is going to trade some information with you guys. He has been roaming Amon over the last several days, doing some things for the Pansophical, but also attending to some personal business, like he mentioned in his note. And he also wanted to mention that he did do a little research, just trying to find any reference, because he looks frustrated when he's telling this, because we apparently you have all stumbled across something that doesn't exist according to every book known to mankind. So I went looking for the connection out. Places that maybe deal in these types of things. Maybe house strange artifacts. I ran across a few places. They call themselves museums, although I don't know that I would use that word. There's one in Westron, there's one in Carnival, and there's one in Stilben. And I'll put the names in the chat for you guys. So he gives you guys the names he's run across. The one in Westron is called Fea's Incredible Collection of Oddities. The one in Carnival is called The Great... I love it. The Great and Wondrous Mythical Cabinet of Magical Items.
Those names are a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of grimaces when he mentions that someone clearly has too much time on their hands naming things.
Yeah, I was gonna ask afterwards if Felicia has heard of the one in Western.
Yeah, make a history check. Yeah.
History? That is a 19.
19. You have heard of it. You've heard two sets of stories. One, it is truly an incredible collection of oddities. Strange and wondrous and sometimes just downright bizarre. And the other story you've heard is that it is a scam.
Somehow I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. You've heard about 50-50 these stories. Yeah.
It can be both.
He has
be both a scam.
It could be both. Yeah. He has no knowledge of these. He just ran across. He's kind of. I'm pulling at strings at this point. I'm pulling at a string and seeing if it unravels something because I don't. Until we talk to Yurik, I don't know what to do. And I don't like being in that situation. It makes me uneasy, not having a direction. Puppy! He does also...
No, I got dog aggro.
He does also mention... okay, well wait, just a second. Puppy!
Puppy!
Aww. My cats just yell at me. We can pause for just a second. Okay, impromptu break over. So he has this list of places for you if you're curious or if you want to try to investigate them. It's just information he's passing along. There's another waiter who comes in, and then Tyrax waits until this man leaves, and he pulls the curtain a little tighter, and he says, with everything that's gone on, and me missing meeting you all in the Feywild, except for Volkar here, I wanted to...
I wasn't in the Feywild.
Right, that's what I mean. I just wanted to let you all know that while you were gone, I went back to the memory ward in Singorn, where I, first got put on this path. I was hoping that I would find something. Anything. And I waited, and I waited, and then I thought I was going mad. You're sitting there and my eyes are closed and you try to drown out all of the noises around you, and I swore I heard a voice. And I opened my eyes and she was there.
She
who?
She who?
Which she?
I saw the Raven Queen. Her mask. I saw her mask. And it didn't move. The mouth doesn't move. It was... And then I heard I assume it was her, tell me they are not alone. and I saw all of you in the Feywild. And then he looks at Volkart, except for you.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry. I saw the party in the Feywild. Traveling, trying to get to where you were going. And then it was gone.
But you see my cousin, though.
I did. Yes, I did. Appreciate the drinks, by the way, and keeping me company. That was very helpful. With everything going on, I didn't get a chance to tell all of you, and I wanted to pass that on. I don't know if you make anything of it or not, but...
The Raven Queen is tied into this somehow.
That is my...
Both her and the Witch Queen.
And Ulrin.
And Oren.
I am Oren.
He shrugs, and I don't know what's at stake here. I don't know. I feel like I don't know anything anymore. I feel like everything's been turned on its head, and what we're supposed to know, we don't know. But I'm hoping Yurik can guide us.
Can I somehow pat him on the shoulder, or is he too tall right now? Like, it's okay.
You can reach him. Yeah.
You're not the only one who's very confused, or has been for the last month or so.
Yeah.
There's a lot of confusion going around.
Yeah. That's a massive understatement. I'm starting to get very concerned that we're missing a part of the picture, and I don't know if we're supposed to go find it. I don't know if it's supposed to be given to us, but apparently...
What do you mean, supposed to?
I don't know.
Do what you want.
I have not felt like I have been in control of my own destiny since I found out I was fate-touched.
Well, either you're in control and you do what you want, or you're not in control and you still do what you want, except it was preordained. So, however it goes, you just do you.
That sounds like good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking a lot of sense.
That's a very good point.
He's pretty good with words.
That's I'll take that under advisement. I appreciate it. If I can make any kind of sense out of any of this, it's that maybe I can atone for the things I've screwed up in the past. And if helping you is what does that, then I'm more than happy to do it. He downs his ale. It's gone. Tries to steal Ulrin's.
Oh, no.
I was really hoping you wouldn't notice that.
Oh,
damn. No. And then you guys hear there's been all kinds of music being played while everyone's been talking and these meetings have been going on, and then all of a sudden you hear yelling.
Ooh.
And then the sound of wood breaking.
That's not a good sign.
And he sticks his head out the curtain and he's like,
Is it a bar brawl?
bar fight. Bar fight.
Nice.
I've read about those.
I
No.
mean, I don't want to get involved. Probably
Are
not
they
a
fun?
good idea. Do you like black
It's
eyes?
a crime.
That's what happens. Chairs are smashed. There's a bar fight. And he sticks
Wait,
his head
there-
out again, and he pushes the curtain aside just a little bit so you guys can see. And you do see this, like, it looks like a bard has been pulled off the stage. And one of the fire eaters you saw previously is kind of coming to his rescue. And then Volkar, you see a familiar figure in green and brown leathers with short blonde hair, raising up a stool to kind of smash over some guy's head.
Okay, which side is that one fighting?
Hard to tell what she's doing. She's putting up a good fight.
Well,
No matter what, there's some smashing being done. And then you do see the arms of Amon starting to come in and pull people. Hey, knock it off.
Should I? Do you all think I should
I know
stop
exactly
that?
what I'm going to do. Alright, let's see. Am I like 30 feet from the stage?
You're more than that.
Okay, well, I would like to get within 30 feet of the stage.
Okay, you would have to move, upwards of like here, to get close enough.
Yeah, we're like a long way.
Yeah, you're more than double. Yeah, you'd have to get up in here to really make that happen.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna head towards the stage.
Okay. So head towards the stage. We don't need your tokens for this. And what are you gonna do? There's like chaos around you right now.
Oh yeah,
There's just people just. You asshole!
Well, actually, where's like the middle of the chaos?
It's centered around the fire pit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go within 30 feet of there in that case.
Yeah, you can easily stand over here in this area.
Cool.
And be close enough. I'll try to get you guys copied. Okay.
So I'm gonna take out my sass.
Okay.
Raise my hand. And I'm gonna go, you all calm down! And bling, guitar riff, and I teleport right in the middle of the fray.
Okay.
Using my special bard ability of Battaglia, however you pronounce that.
Okay.
And any large or smaller creature within 10 feet of me is gonna have to make a strength save or be knocked prone.
Oh shit! Okay. Yep, I'm just gonna roll a bunch of d20s.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe that's gonna be a 15 DC.
Oh, okay. Oh my god. I'm rolling really badly, and I just rolled my dice on the floor. Come back!
That is perfect. That
Well, I just
aligns
rolled
with
2 1s.
your bad rolls, align with my goal.
Yep. So there's a crowd of people. Sorry, I gotta hook my headphones back in. There's a crowd of about 10 people who are just like fighting the hell out of each other. You see a couple of these guys start to run off the other way. You see this lady who's very nicely dressed start to get involved, which is kind of weird. The dancer who was on the stage comes down. One of the fire eaters is over here. You see the bard that you met in the one tavern, Volkar. She sees you and nods and smashes another chair over a dude's head. She is just out of range. She kind of is like, I know what he's doing. So out of a bunch of people, okay, you see 5 people just absolutely fall on their asses, down on the floor. There's wood splintered everywhere. You see ash and smoke start to fly from the fire pit. A couple people are like, oh no, God, fire! There's a few people who are still on their feet, but their hair is all blown back. And you guys watched as Volkar just was like, pooh! And there's this huge burst of wind.
That will either calm them down
there you go.
make things every worse.
Everything stops. And they're all looking at you.
I mean, it's effective.
I have Thunderstorm Bowl! Come see me Wednesday!
There's a couple people who are like, yeah! And then there are a couple people who are very confused. And a few more people start to like make their way toward the door. They're starting to leave. They're like, I'm leaving. A couple very nicely dressed folks who are like running out of the door with tankards in their hand. And eventually the arms of Amon get everybody straightened out, and they haul a couple people away who started the fight. The bard that you had met, Lotus, she nods, at you and starts to walk back over here toward the bar. The bartender, the big guy who was in the back, comes over and shoves a mug of ale in your hand, Volkar, and he's like, "That'll work."
I just slap him on the shoulder and I'm like, well, you're going to be hosting these events, so wouldn't you want the bar to break down before then?
When do you go
And I just
on,
down the
friend?
mug.
I'm assuming you're performing.
Oh, hell yeah.
When do you go on?
Wednesday, I plan to be a little before noon.
Sounds good. I see you in here again. I tell you what, I'll get these people nice and sloshed.
Oh,
How's that sound?
that's what I like to hear.
All right, let's do it. We'll make that happen. He goes back behind the bar. Very slowly, one of the bards who had gotten kind of a beat down goes back up on the stage, picks up his lyre. He's got a black eye now. And starts to play a little calmer.
Yeah.
Chairs get righted. People start to put things back together. And you see a very nicely dressed man in white robes come out from the back, somewhere from the back. And he comes out and he motions to a couple of the bar staff. And you just start to see ale being handed out. No money being exchanged. Looks like there's a round on the house type of thing happening.
Cool. I just walk back to the others. Like nothing happened.
That's one way to solve a bar fight.
I mean, usually I just yell at people, but that works too, I guess.
Sure does. I mean, usually I also just yell at people, but maybe not in this place during the festival. I'm gonna need the place to be standing for at least a couple more days.
So everything gets righted. The bar slowly gets put back in order. And Tyrax joins you guys back in the booth that you were sharing, and he says, "So I am off again. I've got a few more things that I need to do, but I can meet you at Alora's Tower on Wednesday. From what I can tell, Yurik wants us there later in the day, so I would recommend getting your items taken care of before we depart." His message was not, "This is an emergency," it was more, "You best be here before Wednesday ends," type of a thing.
Wait, before Wednesday?
Yeah, before the day ends.
Oh,
So
okay.
we could depart in the evening.
Good.
We could do that. So we're on a bit of a time schedule at this point.
We're gonna have to be back in town to see who won, though.
No, that's not important.
Sure.
I make no guarantees.
Damn.
If that's doable or not, I just know I have to be there, and you all are required. Your presence is required by him.
Yep, I want my things back.
I'm sorry, okay?
Of course you do.
All right. He's going to bid you all a good day, and I'll see you later in the day on Wednesday. I suspect I'll probably be in the area most of the day and can get over to the tower fairly quickly.
Hey, if you're around this evening, we're going in the pit. You points down at Hazel.
Yeah!
Oh.
You should come watch!
Oh, well, that could be. I'll try. I've got a few things to attend to. I'll try to make it back.
Sure.
Yeah. Have fun!
Bye. He leaves a little confused.
Bye.
Okay, so you guys have, the pit fighting slot isn't until later in the evening. Was there anything you guys wanted to do between this late afternoon? You get about 4 hours or 3 hours before that starts. Anything anyone wants to accomplish?
Just getting, it takes a strangely long amount of time getting his necessary gleam and everything like prim and proper to a point that doesn't seem necessary for fighting in like a dirty hole in a temple.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, those of you who are fighting, you guys prep. And if you guys want to jump to that, we certainly can.
I'll probably like just meditate a bit or just try to stay calm a bit and collect myself before I fight.
Okay. Sorry, just pulling out my stuff here. Okay. So, you guys are in the tavern, get more food, drinks. Those of you who are fighting, get ready. And then, as the time nears the 8 o'clock hour, you start to head over to the God's Brawl Ring, which is in the Temple District. Not hard to find. And Hazel and Naraxis, as you approach, you can see that there is a line of people waiting to get into the arena. And off to the side, it looks like there is a group of people well armed and armored, and they're looking at a posting board trying to find their time slots. And there is a gentleman off to the side, human man, probably in his late 60s, big gray beard, totally bald, and he's taking names and making notes of who is entering. He's watching fighters exit. Some of them look like they've gotten a bit of a beat down. There's a lot of blood, black eyes, and he's there. It looks like he's checking names off.
Should we go talk to this dude, Naraxis?
I mean, I guess so. There's a queue. I guess we should be in it.
Okay.
We'll see you guys inside. We'll go with the queue.
We're gonna register. Thank you.
We're gonna cheer for you.
Yay.
Okay. So
We'll make you proud.
Or a white dragonborn might be around. Just let them know when we're on, I guess, if you see them. If they came, you
look nervous, Naraxis. Are you okay?
It's fine. Everything is fine. Just everything will be fine.
Okay. You guys get into separate lines. Naraxis and Hazel, you get in the line where it looks like prospective fighters are waiting to register. Ulrin, Volkar, and Alicia, you guys get in the spectator line. And there's no entry fee. They're just trying to fill seats. This arena you have to go down to get into it. And then there are seats and stands built into the dirt walls laid down with stone. Naraxis and Hazel, you eventually make your way up to this gentleman who's taking names, and he looks at all of you. All right, what time you got? When are you going on?
8 p.m.
Yeah, 8 p.m.
Okay, it's about a half an hour before that. This is Leland and Aja? No, wait, no. Dragonborn, hold on. Hazel and Barber? But your handwriting's atrocious. What's your
It's
name?
in Draconic.
Just a name.
Naraxis.
I just need the name. Naraxis. Got it. Naraxis. Okay. Yep, you showed up just on time. Very good. The door is there, and he points to a large stone door behind him. You go in. You're going to get checked by the mages. No magic. Remember, no magic. If you use magic, they will disqualify you. Possibly throw you in jail. Dunno. No one's ever tried it before. Ha. No magic. It's a beatdown. You want to knock out your opponent. You're welcome to use whatever arms and armor you have on you. No spells. Got it? Okay, good. Now go.
Yeah.
And he, that's a good question, Alicia.
We're already
I'm just
contemplating cheating.
I mean,
My rolls, I rolled them when we started. My rolls were 13 and 19.
Okay.
I mean, you're not casting a
No?
spell because you've seen the future, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's magic. Seeing the
Yeah.
How can they catch me?
How can they catch me?
That's true, because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You're a problematic human being.
The time police will get you.
It's the
Watch
way I
out.
see it personally is it's kind of a meta game ability that comes from seeing and messing around with the future and divination in general.
Yeah,
Yep.
if you'd warned us before we
Kinda
went in.
magic.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
That's weird.
It's up
It's-
to you, DM, if you will allow me if
Yeah.
I see the necessity to use it.
you're in. Is there? It just
Wait.
happens, right? You don't have to be
Yeah.
within a certain range.
No, it's as long as I can see the creature.
Well, and you're be in the stands, so
Okay.
Yeah?
that's
Yeah.
up to you. I mean, I don't know.
Just this tiny voice like, hey, he's going to stab you in the kidney. I'm like, oh,
And what else are you doing anyway? You know?
I'll
that's good to
probably
know,
hear it.
thanks.
All right. So yeah, I mean, you can certainly try. So
It's on the spot.
you can certainly try. You guys make your way into this darker room, and there are a handful of arms of Amon, and then it looks like some robed mages, but they're not traditionally dressed.
Before we go to them, I turn to Narexis and I say, do you think they'll have a problem if I do my thing? I mean, it's not technically magic. I'm not actually sure what it is.
I-
I was kind of hoping to do it so I could train myself in it. Do you think they'll get me?
You could ask, I guess. I mean,
I could.
Keyleth turns into animals, but I'm pretty sure that's magic. But if you're just hitting them with your... I don't know.
Don't know.
I guess
You
I'll
should
just-
probably ask, though. I wouldn't just...
Yeah.
That's not the kind of surprise.
Yeah. I don't want you to get in trouble, so I'll go ask them.
Okay. So who do you approach? There's a handful of these robed figures.
Who looks the friendliest one?
There's a human woman, younger, probably late 20s. She's talking to, looks like one of the fighters, one of the combatants, and she has a calm disposition about her.
I'll like wait until she's done and then go up to her to be examined.
It takes a few minutes, but eventually she sees you waiting and motions you over. Are you
Hello.
ready? Hi.
Yeah. Hi. I have a question.
Sure.
I know magic isn't allowed, but what if I turn into a big tiger and then just hit people with my claws? Does that count as magic?
You mean you... So it's not a familiar, it's you.
Yeah, that's right.
And you would be...
And my claws are not magical. Not yet.
So you would be fighting in simply another form.
Yes. Please.
Let me go check. That's not
Thank
a question
you.
I get asked ever.
That's
I get that.
actually, while you're asking,
Mm.
what magic weapons? Because my axe, I have other things, but my axe.
That's a very good distinction. Magical weapons are allowed. Actual
Oh, that's
spellcasting
what I
is
meant.
not.
Like, immediately in his hand, like, okay, that's fine. Look,
Yes, we do not allow spellcasting. That is for the wizard's duel. That's a whole other battle.
Oh, that's
So we
good to know.
separate the two. And the wizard's duel is, and she gets kind of a weird look on her face, like stink face, like, and that's it's magic. We don't deal in magic here. So she looks you over, you guys. She puts her hands out, one hand not on you but close, and I'll be back. Let me check on the tiger thing. I'll be back.
Thank you.
Runs off to a gentleman in dark red and gold robes, dressed very nicely, big gray beard, and she talks to him for a moment and points at you, Hazel, and he nods and says something back, and she runs back after a couple minutes and says, "It would be allowed, but you would have to walk into the arena transformed."
Okay, I can do that.
If you were to transform in front of everyone, it could start a panic.
Yeah,
Okay, I get that.
I can see that.
So we're just
Thank
trying
you.
to be. That's good to know. I'm assuming there are probably other people who can do what you do, so that's good precedent. And you're welcome.
Yeah.
You guys look down, and you now have numbers on your armor. You can pass your hand through it.
Like, oh no, it's fine.
Yeah,
Everything.
you can pass your hand right through it. She's like, it's just so we can keep track for the records. Who wins, who loses. So you were number 14 and 15. Naraxis, you're 14. Hazel, you're 15. So if you win this bout, this is going to be against fighters of a similar ability. If you win this bout, you then immediately move on to a championship bout. And winners of that then can claim a prize. So 2 fights in a row. You must agree to 2 fights in a row, if that's all right. No chance to heal yourselves in between.
I don't know how to do that anyway.
Me
We have a
neither.
dwarf for that.
Good enough.
Yeah.
I mean, not with us, but
Right. In the stands.
He's pretty
Understood.
cool. Yeah.
All right. So you are third in line. It will be probably another 10 minutes or so, depending on how the fights go. If you'll just wait here, we will come and fetch you when the time is right. The rest of you in the stands, you get your seats, and you are immediately in this arena.
Can we get popcorn?
Kind of, totally. There are vendors
Cool.
who are selling, like, baseball style, like, popcorn, candy, you know, that whole deal.
This line.
There's blood on the floor of the arena. There are currently 2 parties of 3 each, and it's a mixture. You see a human, a dragonborn, and a halfling fighting against, it looks like, 2 gnomes and a Goliath. And
Oh
they are
boy.
just duking
Oh,
it out.
goody.
There are axes being thrown. There are arrows flying. They're ducking around pillars. People are cheering on. You do see some subtle betting happening. And this fight is just like, oh my god. And the Goliath goes down, and you think he's down, and then he pops back up 2 seconds later, and it's like, ah! And charges the halfling and carries him into the pillar and smashes him there like a bug. That guy goes down, and eventually that battle kind of works its way out, and really the only person left standing is the Goliath. His other party
Yeah.
members
And
are
I go
knocked
like, hey, look, it's the STG.
There's another fight that happens, not as exciting. They're kind of not great fighters. It looks like a couple of half-elven women against 2 human men. They all look like they're slightly drunk. So there's a lot of really sloppy, and they have no weapons. They're just like fisticuffs, just duking it out. People are starting to get bored. They're throwing fruit.
It's probably 2 couples who made it that.
There's just not, yeah, it's a weird, they're like, how did these guys even get in here? This doesn't seem right. And then Hazel Naraxis, this woman, comes back to get both of you. You are fighting against a human ranger and a dragonborn fighter. And so, good luck. And she shoves you out through the door.
Okay.
Hazel, are you
I wanted,
transforming?
yeah, I want to say before she does that, I
Okay.
transform, and after I've done that, I look at Naraxis and I just say, "Remember your promise, okay?"
I'll knock them down. You pull them to pieces.
All right,
Was that the promise?
let's do it. That was not the promise.
that
but
was
I
not
think
the promise.
Naraxis knows what I mean. But yeah,
No, that's not.
I get it. Thank you. Let's do this.
And you
And
guys
I
walk
start playing the
out.
battle theme.
All right. There you go. You guys walk out the door to a crowd cheering and booing, and there's all kinds of noise and crap being thrown, and it's just chaos. And you are now directly against, facing against this, looks like twins. In a way that their armor is matching. They're clearly not genetic twins because it's a dragonborn and a human, but their armor is matching, which is interesting. And there is another robed man who walks out into the middle of the arena, and he raises his hand. Go! And I need you guys to roll initiative. Let me get everybody on the track here.
Oh, I can't click on my token.
Ah, why?
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, darn it. No. Because, there we go. There we go. I'm getting it. Okay. There's that. Okay, sorry about that.
There we go.
And that. I'm going to add these guys to... I feel like I haven't done this in so long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yep.
Alright.
And I can't just sling a fireball. That's the other, like...
Nope.
That would be bad.
So, oh shit. Alright. Natural 20.
Oh.
And not as good, but still. And that's a 7. Alright. And you see them, wrong order. There we go. You see them start to dash off. You guys do have full movement before the attack starts, so if you want to move, you can. So you have a free round of movement, but no attacks.
I guess so. 1 second.
Okay. How far? 30 feet you can get.
Yep, they are gonna move. Move that way.
Yeah.
Alright. My glasses off so I can actually see here.
So we want all that.
Alright. You guys move to where you want to be.
Yep.
Good. Okay. The ranger is first. They are going to square up and take a shot at you, Neuraxis. Okay. So that is not going to hit. That's a 6.
Nope.
So that shot goes wide. They have a second shot. They kind of are growling in frustration already. Oh, Jesus. That's a 7. Fuck.
Damn.
They cannot hit you. And they are going to move and get behind this pillar. All right, Neuraxis, you're up.
So I'll just keep running at him.
Okay.
So I have 2 attacks now with my packed weapon. So I'm going to use the first one to try and shove him prone. So it's
Oh, shit. Okay.
opposed... I think it's opposed athletics.
Yeah, if you're doing a shove attack, yes. Athletics. Yeah. Okay.
So it's like there's nothing tiny about it. He just like runs at him and then tries to just push him on the floor.
Okay. You guys are watching your friends as these arrows go wide around Neuraxis, and then he is shoving on this dragonborn.
Ugh, 9.
9.
I mean, it's versus. It might be alright.
9.
20, not natural. He just he digs in. He's not wearing any boots. His claws are digging into the ground. And this is a red dragonborn. So he is just like, you know, like, oh, come on. You do hear him say something in Draconic that's an insult.
Rude.
Yeah. How is he dressed? Is he like shield and massive heavy armor, or like what am I looking at?
You are looking at a smaller male dragonborn. There's a long sword and a hand axe, and he makes 2. It looks like he's dual wielding.
Well, you don't know until you try. I'll great weapon master.
Oh shit! Okay.
13. Probably not.
Nope. Nope, that's not going to hit. He ducks. Seems kind of a little more lithe than you are. And he manages to just duck right out of the way. All right. End of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Hazel.
I'm gonna move up to this woman, man.
Okay. Yep. It's a human woman.
Okay. And I'll just claw her.
Okay.
Okay, first is
Oh, she dead. Wait, no, that's not.
15. Does a 15 hit?
That'll hit.
Ooh. Okay, so that's 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Okay. Next attack. Oh, nice. That will also hit 20
Yep,
to
that'll hit.
And nice. 11 points of slashing damage.
Jeez. Okay.
Rolling good on
She
that.
did.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
third attack is a 20 again to hit.
Okay.
Not natural. And
She's so dead.
holy shit. And a 4, so that's 10 points of slashing damage.
Oh my
She is
god.
so dead.
Okay, so you just rip into this woman and gashes are opened up on the front of her leather armor. She's reeling back from you, it clearly in pain and was totally not expecting you at all.
I'm making all of these non-lethal offers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind the rules of this are just to 0. You gotta just knock them out.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay. End of your turn?
Yes.
Okay, this fighter, Neuraxis, is going to go ahead and try to swing at you with his 2. He has 2 attacks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, that's a crit on the long sword.
Okay.
And a 23 on the hand axe.
They both hit.
Okay. So let's do this. 23 points of damage on the first attack.
So the temporary is gone, and then 13.
And 9 points of damage on the second attack.
Okay.
And oh geez. He is going to, he's going to burn that. He's going to action surge and take his 2 attacks again. That's a 27 to hit.
Yep.
And a 20 not natural to hit.
Yep.
Okay, so that is 8 points of damage on the first attack.
Okay.
And 6 points of damage on the second attack. He has burned that. Okay, so you guys see Neuraxis just get chopped into. He brings both weapons down on that action surge. It hurts.
Yep.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, it does.
And he is grinning at you. And in Draconic says, brothers no more, right? All right, so he's going to stay there. Top of the round, that ranger is going to swap weapons, Hazel, and attack you with her longsword instead.
Yep.
She just gets the... No, she'll get 2 attacks with that. That is a 23 to hit
Hit.
on the first attack, and a 21 on the second attack.
Both hit.
Okay. First attack is 10 points of damage. Second attack is 12 points of damage.
So 22.
22 total, yep. She brings that sword across one way and then flips it around and goes the other way with it. It's a very interesting maneuver that she just pulled. You've never seen anybody quite fight with a sword like that before. Her training seems to be different than anything you've ever seen. And she is also bearing down on you. You guys are getting a good look at their armor. It is decorated with green and silver and blue. Nothing extraordinary or interesting about it, just that it's color coordinated, and you're not sure if they're... It almost looks like militia or mercenary armor of some kind. All right, so she is going to square off with you and just stand her ground. Neuraxis, you're up.
I will second wind with my bonus action.
Okay.
For 7.
All right.
And then 2 just just normal swings with the axe.
Okay.
It's an 18 hit.
That hits.
Or check the dice. Yep, for 9.
9. Okay.
Oh, I don't have a lot left in the tank already. Circle a little bit so near Hazel, and then
Okay.
yeah, why not? I'll try Great Weapon Master again. What's the point of not using it?
Okay.
19
That'll hit.
for 23.
Oh, Jesus!
Nice.
All right. Woo, there go half his hit points. That axe comes down once, and then on that second strike, it eats into his chainmail and leather armor, and you almost have to put like a foot on him to dislodge it. That hit went deep, and he's bleeding pretty heavily at this point. All right, staying put.
Yeah, I circled a little bit to be
Okay.
near Hazel.
Okay.
Was.
Speaking of Hazel, yeah, you guys are seeing this happen, and
Yeah.
it is like more intense than you were expecting.
Get wrecked, nerd.
Yeah.
That's that. I'm very badly hurt. This isn't.
Yeah. Okay, my turn.
Yep.
Okay, here comes my first blood loss saving throw.
Okay.
Oh god.
Oh, boy.
I should have said it the other way.
And I failed it.
It's fine. The enemy's nearby, not me.
The one time you're not
Oh
trying to
my God.
kill anyone.
Alright, so I
Okay.
just attack. I don't. Yeah, it just says I attack the target, so I guess I use all 3 of my attacks on them.
Yeah.
Bless them.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I mean, did you have to keep attacking when they're down?
Yeah.
I don't
Is that
know,
how
it
it
just
works?
says you attack the nearest enemy, the nearest creature. That's the only. You take your attack action to attack the nearest creature.
Yikes.
That's
And
the
then-
description
yeah.
for it.
Oh, okay. Well,
the
you were
first
gonna
thing
do
you
that
roll
anyway,
the-
right?
I
Yeah,
rolled
it's
a
just if I was
14
nearby.
for the first attack.
That just hits.
Ugh. That's 12 points of slashing.
God,
Oh my
okay.
god.
Please don't let me kill this person.
I mean, your attack action is only 2, right? And then it's your bonus action to do your third one. So at least you can pull the third one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's a bonus action, so it's a thing. Okay, the second was
Oh.
a natural 1, but halfling. So
Halfling.
Oh, no.
Look, Yep.
yeah, that also hits. That's a 19.
Yep. Oh boy.
That's again 12 points of damage. Another six.
Okay.
Well, at least all the damage you did last round was non-lethal.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
to kill her, you would
Hopefully
have
they just fall unconscious.
to get rid of all her HP in one round. So,
She's not
yeah.
dead, but she is not looking good.
Bonus action attack.
So,
1, 2,
so after my attack, according to the new Blood Hunter rule, I snap out of it, and I still have movement and bonus action.
Okay.
And I like get back in it again, and for a second I'm like really pissed at myself, and I'm like, why doesn't this work? And but then I have to get my head back into the fight, and so they're still conscious.
Yes.
All right, then I guess I'll attack again, non-lethal, of course. This
Okay.
Yeah.
time again. Let's see.
Come on.
That's like a 23.
Oh my god.
But only 7 points of slashing damage.
Woo. Okay. Still up.
Whoa!
Just barely.
Fine.
Just barely.
I know that feeling.
At this point, Noraxis, you hear Hazel it's a very frightening, scary noise coming out of her, and you just see her wail on this woman, and there's fear on this woman's face.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. After I'm done, like I turn back to Naraxis and nod to like signal him.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm back again.
Okay.
It is the dragon. After that scary thing that just happened, it is the Dragonborn's turn.
Yep.
And he is going to grin at you, Naraxis, and put the weapons off to the side and exhale fire onto you. It is a dexterity save.
Do I see Naraxis?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
19.
+1, 20.
That makes it. Yep, that'll make the DC. So
He can grin, but his body is getting
Have that.
to shreds.
Just like,
Naraxis suck! Or
it wasn't much. So it's only 3 points of fire damage
okay.
to you on the half.
Yeah.
And then he is going to second wind as his bonus and get some of that HP back. So let me find the right die here.
Yep.
Okay.
D10 plus fighter level.
Yep. Okay, so I can math. Okay. So he gets that back. He is also going to move around you. And that's his turn. So the ranger is back up. She has nothing. Oof.
She has a sword and an angry tiger.
She does not have much. Oy, oy, oy. She's just going to attack you again with the longsword.
Okay.
And try to knock you out. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a crit. And that is a 25 to hit. So let me roll the crit first.
I'm not allowed to use blood magic.
Nope.
Just don't shred her to death. That's the.
And...
I'm trying! The more damage she does, the harder it is.
I know. The problem.
It wasn't. I rolled really badly. So it's 10 points of damage on the crit.
Okay.
And then another 7 points.
Okay,
I rolled like crap on that crit.
16. Yeah. No, 17.
And that's all she's got. That's all she can do. All right, Naraxis.
Okay, so like, checks over her shoulder again to make sure Hazel's not like butchering her.
She seems to have come down from whatever overtook her in that moment.
Like, look at the guy that spat fire at me. It's like, you're gonna have to be faster than that. And I just swing.
Okay, go for it.
26.
Jesus H, yes.
For. Is it doing what it's supposed to do? Just 14. It did.
Just 14.
I don't have advantage.
Okay.
And then. No, I'll be sensible again. Why not? 26 again.
Uh-huh.
For another 13.
Okay.
Bam.
Yeah, really, jeez.
So 27 total.
Okay. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, he takes those hits. He's not looking good either. At this point, his blood is starting to mingle with the color of his scales. It's getting all over his chainmail. That's gonna be a bitch to clean later. He's not looking good at all.
Yeah, he's like pulling the blows, but he's still like baseball batting him with the side of an axe. That's still not like.
Okay. All right. Hazel, what are you doing?
First, I'm trying to make my save. That's a 9. That's exactly what I needed.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, so I make it.
Okay.
Just barely.
Phew.
Oh god.
Yeah, because 9. Yeah. All right, and then I'll attack non-lethal.
Okay.
It's just.
Natural 1.
Roll it, okay?
Oh, that's only a 12 to hit.
That'll miss.
Does not hit it. First attack miss. Second will hit. That's 23.
Jesus, yeah.
And 10 points of slashing damage.
You needed 7. She goes down.
Yeah.
Okay, so she is down.
And then I'll use my movement to go over here.
Okay, flanking
Flank
rules.
this and use my bonus action to attack the dude. That's the 21 to hit.
Okay, yep.
And 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay, he's still up. 9. There's a lot of that.
9.
He's still up, but he looks bad. And he sees his compatriot who's down, and he's starting to look concerned. And that's an understatement. He's starting to look very worried. All right, and he is up. He has 2 targets. He's going to just wail on you again, Neuraxis.
Fair enough.
That's going to miss. That's a 14.
Yeah, that'll miss.
And that's not good. That's another, 12. Okay, so he misses with both. He's lost too much blood at this point to make his attacks, and he's starting to, it seems like everything's starting to fail. So he can't go anywhere. The Ranger is down. Neuraxis.
Just keep going, I guess. Wait, I'm flanking now, aren't I?
Mm-hmm. Yep. We play with flanking rules.
We're great weapon the first one.
Okay.
14.
That's a miss.
Yeah, and then normal for the second one. 20. Oh, that's a crit.
Oh, he's
Roll
done.
the damage. Let's see how bad it is. Oh God.
18.
He dead.
Yeah,
He
he's
dead?
down.
It's non-lethal.
Right. No, he's down. He had 10 points left. He's down. So he goes down under Neuraxis's axe, and you guys are, the arena's silent, and then you hear, ah, just this mass cheering. You see money being you guys in the stands see money being like, oh man, money being exchanged back and forth. Some people are very, very happy. And then the same woman who sent you out into the arena pulls you back in and says, your next fight is right now. Are you ready?
Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, that one's blessing says when you bring a hostile 0 hit points. Does this still count?
Yes.
3 and 5.
Shit.
Okay.
Alright. So she cleans you guys up a little bit. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab my paper. She cleans you up a little bit and then pushes you back out into the arena. She says your combatants will be here in just a moment as your DM tries to move them around. You guys are free to move wherever you want to in the arena.
Any specific place you want to go to, Neuraxis?
I mean, are they coming in through the same door as the other guys? Well, we missed.
You don't know.
This door?
And I guess, like, here? Oh, yeah, just beside the pillar. And then if you take the other side, or, like...
You can, like,
So
lean
then it's-
casually on the pillars.
There you
Yeah,
go.
casually, not trying not to bleed or anything, just...
Yeah, I'm also pretty beat up. Let's do this!
Okay, so
Yeah.
the gates on both doors raise up. And
Okay.
you see I'm going to have you guys re-roll here in just a second. You see coming out a half-elf with a nasty-looking axe and a tiefling.
Hmm.
And you have a round
Okay.
of movement to move before that begins.
So, are we re-rolling initiative?
You're going to re-roll initiative. Go ahead and move and then re-roll initiative.
Should we split? To Nexus. Should we split up or tag team?
I think we just try and drive one down and then deal with the other. Like,
Okay. Then
like
let's try-
I'm not playing anymore. It's...
Okay, just get get here, then I'll...
Yeah, I can. Did it.
Did it do
Yeah.
it? Oh, sorry.
19.
19? Okay. Jeez. Guys are like...
Fine.
Damn. All right. Some initiatives. All right. The tiefling monk is going to go first. And she sees all of you ganging up on her. And is going to... See, I have to run a monk, which I don't do very often. All right. Yup. She is going to take 3 attacks against you, Neuraxis.
Okay.
That is a 15
That's a
for the
miss.
first. That's a 19 for the second.
That'll hit.
And the last one doesn't hit. So she takes 1, 2, 3 with her staff. So that is going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And then you feel a weird cold sensation wash over you that is 5 points of cold damage.
Ooh.
And then she is going to spend a key point and try to pop you in the jaw with her fist. And that is a 21 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay, you need to make a dexterity save.
Ooh. Okay.
DC 14.
Oh. That was too late.
Nope, I fail.
You fail, you go prone.
Okay.
So you are prone. And
Yeah.
then she is going to take the attack of opportunity to move out of the way of you, Hazel. So you have the ability to whack her. Yeah, you can strike her with a claw.
Yeah,
That's
I'll
prone.
try to
That'll
do
do.
that. That's only a 12 to hit.
No, that's gonna miss.
I guess she's not playing around either.
Ah,
Oh,
fudge.
No, she's not.
Jesus, she's fast.
Ah,
Monks! Hazel, what are you doing?
that sucks. Okay. I'll go. I'll go here and like try to like stand a bit in front of Neuraxis because he's not looking too good,
Okay.
and that's the farthest I can move.
Okay. So you're gonna stay
Oh,
put.
I could. Oh, I could.
Could dash. Yeah.
I could dash. Ah, still out of range.
Yep.
Okay. Then I'll just move.
It's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that is pretty much all I can do.
Okay.
Wait, I just realized something. Like, could I shoot her with my short bow?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
I was very focused on the melee thing. I was like, wait, I have a bow.
I have these claws. I want to use them.
Oh my goodness! All right, then I like move. Yeah, okay. Okay, then
Just
I'll.
from what we
just
saw
move
T-Rex
over
do,
here.
maybe don't shoot the monk.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll shoot the other dude.
Okay.
This
It's
one.
it's a human in furs and leathers. Got some nasty looking paint on his face.
Okay, I'll shoot them with my bow. That's 10. Not the 10. 19 to hit. Sorry.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That's 6 points of piercing damage on the first arrow.
Okay.
And for my second shot, that's a 22 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
And oh, nice. And 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay. All right. So he takes 2 arrows into the armor. Doesn't seem to really deter him.
And that's my end of my turn.
Okay. Neuraxis, half your movement to stand, if you wish to do so.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I get up.
Okay.
Then. Sure, there's a smart way to do this. I just cannot see what it is.
The crowd is starting to get riled up because they see Neuraxis bleeding, and these two don't seem to really have been touched much. And the crowd.
They got let in fresh. What?
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, if they survive, then they go into their next bout with all their wounds.
So yeah, I'll get to here and then.
Sheet.
Is that one square or is that two? Have I gone further than I have? There instead. Yeah, and I'll hold my. Actually, I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. Very good. So that allows you.
It's disadvantage on their
right.
attacks
That's
and
right.
advantage on dexterity saves at stuff that
Okay.
I can see coming at me.
Very good. Yeah, and you definitely will be able to see them coming at you. Okay. Alright, so you're gonna hold there. Okay, the barbarian is going to yell out, and you see his eyes go red. And I need... Yeah, I think you're in range. Let me check, make sure. He's gonna move up here. And then I need both of you to make a wisdom save.
Is it against being frightened?
Yep.
Okay, then I get advantage on it.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Are you doing that
Wisdom save, yep.
intimidation thing that Drug did once
Uh-huh.
or twice?
21.
22!
That'll do it. Yep. So you guys, he's intimidating for sure, but you've seen worse.
Yeah.
You fought the son of a
Yeah.
god. You've seen worse. It's not that big of a deal. So he is going to use the rest of his movement to,
Oh.
he moved 10 to get up on Hazel. And he is going to hit you with a reckless attack, which means the next attack against him also has advantage, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
That is going to be a 22 to hit.
It
Okay.
hits.
All right, so that is 11 points of slashing damage with this great axe.
I also want to note I've been a big dummy, and I forgot that in my tiger form I have resistance to piercing, slashing, and
Oh, okay.
bludgeoning damage
Well,
as long as it's
Oh,
not magical.
it's too
late to reclaim
But
it
yeah,
now,
that's
so-
my fault. I'm very sorry. So now I take 11 is.
Yeah, the thing is, this is going to be, well, you're about to take fire damage. So
Okay.
it's 11
But the
points of
slashing-
fire damage, but the slashing,
Oh,
The slashing goes down.
the slashing goes down. The fire does not.
so 6 points of slashing and 11 of fire.
Yep.
No, it was 11. What? 11 slashing becomes 5, and then 5.
Yeah, it's 11 slashing becomes 5. We round down.
Okay.
Yep. And then
So
11 points of
16.
fire, 16 altogether.
Okay.
And
Damn.
then he is going to frenzy attack you with a, I don't think that's going to hit, a 16.
No. Misses.
Okay, so he misses that. You managed to just duck out of the way of his great axe. That is his turn. The monk is going to move. Yep, and get behind you. And she is going to strike you with 2 staff hits. That's a 22 to hit
Hit.
and a 24 to hit.
Both hit.
Okay. So she's going to hit you for 6 points of bludgeoning damage down to 3. Oof. And 11 points of cold damage.
Yeah, I'm to 0 because I'm down.
Oh, okay. That last hit
I'm
with the
out.
staff cracks you over the head, and you guys see Hazel just fall over. Do you lose your transformation when you go unconscious?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I thought. And there suddenly is little Hazel. Gone is the tiger. And the monk is going to spend another key to take the dodge action against you, Neuraxis.
I guess Hazel just got knocked out
Yeah, she's gonna stay there.
cold.
Couple people around you hear that, Volcar, and they're like,
I think I just took psychic damage from.
you did, yeah. It's a point of psychic damage to everyone in hearing range. Alright, so Hazel's out. Neuraxis. You have advantage on the strike against the barbarian if you take that.
So I could breath weapon and hit them both, but then Hazel isn't bad.
And you have no idea about death saves in here.
Yeah, exactly. The barbarian is the top, so yeah, why not? We'll go.
Okay.
Damn it, cat. So yeah, we'll run around there and then. Yeah, screw it. Hazel's down. It'll be great weapon advantage for the first one.
And you had advantage anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a crit.
Okay! Oh, alright.
Come on. Come on. So
Okay.
22.
22, alright.
Then. Yeah, why not? Same again. You have
Okay.
advantage. Let's do this. 20 hits, I
That'll hit, yep.
assume. For another 18.
Oh, okay. Math.
So,
Okay.
that's 40 points.
Alright, he's still up. He looks hurt, but not as much as you would like.
That's the only thing I can count on. Magic weapon, 40 points. It should be fine. Yeah, I don't have anything to do with my bonus action. This is probably it. Let's go.
Okay, alright. I know my fate.
Yeah.
He is gonna nod at you and say, "It was nice fighting against you." And rolls a 1. That's everything I needed. I love it so much. Okay, hold on. Because this is making my freaking day right here. Alright. I'm so amused. Okay, well, let's see what happens when you roll a 1 as a raging barbarian. Okay, 68. Nope, wrong chart. Hold on. Okay. He drops his weapon. So he's dropped his he thought he had it. He thought he had the knockout blow, and he overdid it, and just the great axe goes skidding 10 feet off behind you, Neuraxis. And there's a little bit of a blush on this man's face that's clearly not war paint. As he just kind of is like, okay, and nods at his companion who's going to come up and get behind you, Neuraxis, and then strike. She's going to take 2 staff hits on you. That is a 21 to hit.
Yep.
And a 19 to hit.
They both hit.
Okay. How many hit points do you have left?
13.
Okay. That is 4 points of bludgeoning damage on the first hit. 8 points of bludgeoning damage on the second hit. And then
the cold.
And then the cold. Yep. And it was a 5. So down.
Yep.
In a flash of frost, and you see them both. You see Neuraxis go down. There's a real silent moment, and then the crowd erupts again. These two don't look like they've been... I mean, the barbarian looks like he got hit pretty decently. The monk doesn't look like she was hardly touched. And you guys do... You wake up, and you're expecting to wake up, like, inside the arena somewhere. You're still on the ground, and your the victors are helping you to your feet.
Thank you.
I'm not cheering as loud, but I'm still cheering. Okay. It was a good show. Very good show.
I give the barbarian a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, he does the same to you. He does the you know, clasp on the shoulder. You fought well. Not as well as me. And they go off and get ready for their next fight. And you guys, the same woman who helped you out brings you back in. She gives you back 10 hit points each.
Yeah, cool.
So you guys are at 11. And your companions, you guys are wounded, bruised, might be a few strained muscles. They got hit pretty hard, but they're alive like you expected. And you guys can continue to watch fights. You can do what you want there, but that was a good fight, you guys.
Yeah.
I want to see how those guys do in their second.
Sure.
That's
like
looking through down in the pit.
They are paired
how's
up.
It gonna, is he...
After a few minutes, they are paired up. That the robed woman brings you guys water and ale and some food to kind of help get you back up on your feet a little bit more. These two get paired up with a rogue, and I have to look at my notes, and another barbarian.
Ooh.
And let's just determine their fates here real quick. And they win, but not by much. They take some pretty nasty hits. It was a dirty fight. There was a lot of underhanded, like, roguey bullshit going on. We had two raging barbarians who are smacking at each other. The monk is dodging between people and trying to cuff the rogue upside the head. It gets ugly there for a little bit. But you guys did well in the arena.
Yeah.
You do get your entrance fee back. I think it was, 2 gold or something like that.
It wasn't a lot.
It wasn't much, no. You get your entrance fee back for surviving 1 round. But you do not get the victor's purse. All right.
It's fine. Losing to the... at least we lost to a winner. That's the, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lost to 2 level 10 characters, so...
Sweet. Well done.
I mean, you did well.
When they get back and we're like sitting around or whatever, I'll cure wounds on both of them.
Okay.
So.
Go ahead and roll that.
Yeah, it's 8 and 11.
I'll take the 8. Hazel, go on.
Yeah, you cut that barbarian down to... What was that? Jesus. Yeah, you cut him down to 43 out of 100, so...
Yeah.
Damn.
If I can hit, I can do a lot.
You can do a lot of damage, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the rest of the night passes. You guys can, watch more bards. You can, go about your day.
I'm gonna go see the insult match.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing we have to go
There
to.
we go.
Over that,
So-
I
I knew
just
there was something.
I just want to say that both organs there.
All right. So you guys stand around and watch the insult match, which is already underway. As you guys head over there, I'm trying to get the music back up. There we go. And it's something else because they've already got 2 people on stage slinging insults at each other. I'm trying to find my notes. There we go. Looks like dwarf twins
Holy shit.
who are
Oh, good.
yelling insults at each other, and you guys walk up just as you hear, "You repugnant, venomous badger face!" And then the other sister kind of laughs and goes, "You foul, fobbling bass! Ha ha!" And they're trading insults back and forth, back and forth. And then eventually it looks like the other sister is getting a little frustrated, and She says, I would try to insult you to our father, but you were probably mistaken for a half-orc and disowned. Ha 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 ha, which is a big deal in dwarven families. You don't want to be disowned. And then the other one, so the insults go back and forth. They call them each other pox-ridden dung heaps. There's an insult about feeble mind that goes back and forth.
Is there anything about anyone smelling of elderberries?
Yeah.
Not in this one. It ends.
Oh,
the crowd
okay.
gets very excited when the one sister says, "You're a disgusting, lazy duck licker."
Duck liquor.
Duck licker.
Bang.
And the crowd goes wild, and they bow, and the one sister's a little red in the face. And then you guys watch as another... Looked like they were part of the paid actors to kind of get the crowd going. And then you see two people get up onto the stage. Probably not actors. And one is an older halfling man with just a gigantic beard. And then a half-orc woman. And
Oh
they
boy.
square off against each other, and they start slinging insults. So, insult generator. Okay. Because why not?
Why not, of course.
Why not? And they start off with, "You're nasty, ill-bred trash stain." "No, you're an artless, vulgar chimera." And that half-orc woman shakes her head. She's like, "I can do better than this. I can do better than this." And the halfling says, "Nope, you're an artless blackguard with the ass of a cow." She's like, "Oh, that hurts so bad, you rank misbegotten wolf feed. Ugh." And they're just shouting back and forth.
Holy shit.
And it looks like, by the judgment of the crowd, the halfling man wins. And he takes a little purse of gold, and they walk off stage, and you see the minute they're off the stage, they hold hands again. So, they're quite the couple. This goes on and on. It gets a little intense at times. Eventually, as the night goes on, the people get drunker and drunker. And the insults are not so much insults as half-slurred words. "You're a fart face." And it starts going off like that, back and forth.
Yeah, that's about when I leave, I think.
Yeah, it stops being funny and just kind of sad after a while.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do on this evening before we go into the Tuesday? No? Okay. Tuesday.
The Tuesday.
Nothing much on the schedule. If you guys don't have anything pressing during the day, I would like Neuraxis to get to his event.
Yeah. What time is in the Rex's event?
It's in the evening. I don't know that you set a time.
Yeah, it was like It was like after we had bonfire and goat and beer. It's not like it's like a hog roast for dragon people.
I'll probably hang with Flux in the morning or before noon, if it's okay. If I find them.
Yes, you do. It's very easy to find
But
them.
yeah, we can just skip that part. We don't need to roleplay it. We
Okay.
can skip the Neuraxis part.
I think more than anything, he spends the day flustered. He's spending a lot of time with Volker, and he's got a scrap of paper he keeps pulling out. He's like, "What about this? I'm not sure about this." And what going to Roland and being like, "Is there anything you can do to help?" Not with the paper. You can't read it. He stuffs it back in his coat. No.
Well, actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. And I reach in the bag of holding, and I pull out a ring that's like a golden ring, and it's got the symbol of Draconia on it, and it's like a signet ring, kind of stylized like that way. And I just kind of hold it out, and
I takes it from your hand. He's turning it over in the end of his claws. How? That's very good. Have you ever seen a How do you know what a draconian? He just keeps looking at it.
Well, I've seen a lot of the things that you wear and walking around and being around a lot of armor shops. You see some relics and things of the past, and I've seen the symbol before, and I've seen you wear it a couple times in some of your regalia that you have from the army, I believe. And
he pulls a gold piece out and holds them next to each other, and the symbol's like bang on. That's very good.
And I pull out 9 more, and I hand them to him.
I only have 8 fingers.
And I tell him, if you're really planning on rebuilding and starting this, you'll need some sort of congress or some sort of trusted association. And I figured you could give these to the trusted dragonborns that you know. That way they symbolize that they're actually in it to rebuild and actually dedicated to your cause.
Thank you.
It's no problem. I hope everything goes well, and I'm sure it will. Just be sure and tell them how you feel, because that's the truest words that could ever be spoken are words that come from the heart. So
Words I'm good at. Words I can do. Words leading men, that's all fine. This isn't like your house burning down in a forge fire. This is like your city caving in and your family dying. It's messy and cruel.
That just means it's even more emotional.
Yeah, it kind of is. Just like he takes one of the rings and slides it onto his hand. And it gets like stuck on a knuckle, and he has to try another finger. God, that really. Thank you. I mean, you're welcome to come. It's not really for you. I mean, by all means, but if you don't speak Draconic, I'm sure it'd be fine.
I'll only come if you need me.
Do I? Nope, I don't.
I wouldn't turn down a friendly face.
In that case, I'll have your back.
Can I come too?
Yeah.
Can we all come?
Sure. I'm not going to say no.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a bit. Just don't want to miss my friend's performance.
Of course. I wouldn't have got this far without, I'd say, all of you. No offense.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, you've got this, no Alexis.
And it goes back to like reading this. It's like really like he's had it out, crossed it out, and then put it away, and then put it out again, and changed something, like changed it back, and put it away again. But his armor is spotless, but this note is just a mess.
Okay.
Yeah, and then at some point during the day, I've got to pick up the like pinata thing.
Okay.
And take it down.
Yeah, you can do all that easily enough.
Yeah.
You feel the pressure getting to you, Neuraxis, as the day goes on. Like, oh god, can't screw this up. Gotta do it right, type of thing. And then as the sun sets, there is a familiar white dragonborn who crosses your path as you're starting to head toward the old fort. And she says, I was hoping I would catch you. I found a few more. I convinced a few more people. to come. I hope that's all right.
I mean, it's gonna take a lot of us, I guess. Did you swing by the brawl?
I did. I saw your friends. They were on the other side of the arena. You guys did really well. That was quite the show. And there's no shame in getting knocked out.
No.
You were
it
up
just would have
against
been.
very skilled fighters.
Yeah, I noticed. He like rolls his shoulder and flinches like,
Yeah.
yep. Mm-hmm.
It'll work itself out. But you guys are with him, right?
Yep.
Okay. She nods to all of you, and it's good seeing you again. Except for wasn't there a different dwarf here at one point?
Yep.
Their family. He,
all right.
like us in future, I guess, he had other commitments. Well, not other I mean, you know what I mean.
Sure. So, fair enough. She starts to lead you over the hill, and down in this valley is the old fort. You can, from even this distance, smell smoke of a bonfire. And as you guys get to the top of the hill, she looks at you, Neuraxis, and she says, I hope you don't mind that we got here a little early. We wanted to make sure that things were set for you. Hope you don't mind.
Okay. No, that's, yep.
And
That's
you
probably better.
guys crest over the hill, and you see draconian banners hung all over this old fort.
This is more than I was. Okay.
Before we get too close, I'm gonna whisper to Naraxis, try not to read too much from your fucking notes. It makes it sound less genuine, you know?
Just to you, Neuraxis.
I think I remember it by now.
Good.
Okay.
Although, did I change
You
the
got
second
this.
line? And he like, no, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
You see a bonfire going. You see a couple of dragonborn kind of coming from a different direction and head into the fort. And then you start to see another couple of dragonborn come in. So, seems like she made good on her promise to try to find as many as she could. And she says, got a lot of people really interested in what you have to say. So I hope you're sure as fuck ready for this.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. It's not the first time I've had to lead men to their possible death. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
We'll
Everything will be fine.
We'll get it. Some of us old hands see hope where we didn't after all this happened, so we owe you for that.
I just hope my grandfather's name still holds weight with some of the old hands.
If I have anything to say about it, it does.
I mean, it's been a long time, I guess.
I'm old.
He doesn't
Let's
say
go.
this.
Let's go. She kind of starts to shove you down the hill. She says, as you guys enter the fort, she does lean over to you, Neuraxis. She says, I told everybody if they get into the ale or the food before your speech, I'm going to throw them all out of here. That's rude.
I mean,
No.
they can eat.
No.
Okay. He's like,
Now go!
"All right,
And she
fine."
pushes you in the door. Neuraxis, you see about 150 dragonborn in here.
Holy shit. That's probably 10 times more than expected.
With them.
Yeah, there's like a frozen moment of like, oh god.
There's a small stage that's been constructed with the banner of your regiment behind it.
Where the hell did they find?
You also do see in the crowd, not just dragonborn. You see humans. You see halflings.
That makes more sense.
You see a couple of half-orcs.
What? Where did you find... I mean...
We aren't the only ones who want to restore what was taken by the dragons.
I mean, Allura did say... Huh.
And we'll
Okay.
need all the help we can get.
Yeah, no, yeah. I can hit things. I'm not so good with a chisel, I guess.
Come on, this is your show. Mine's tomorrow. Get to it.
Yeah.
Can do it.
Okay.
As he walks up to the stand or whatever, if that's where he's going. Are we in there with him? Did we follow him behind the door and everything?
I assume you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a eagle feather like out of my pouch, and I'll just like pat him on the back and like put it in underneath some of his armor in the back, and I'll cast enhance ability Eagle Splendor on him.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, it's nothing that weird. It's just it says feather from a beast, so I was like, well,
Yeah. All in casting spells away is not weird. That's like...
they're not
Okay.
bad spells.
No.
You have
Oh,
advantage on charisma checks.
Yeah.
Trust the dwarf Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes. I feel like I should roll first and then read, because this feels like one of those things where you drive an awesome hit and then... So...
You can... Yeah, sure. This is your show at this point.
I guess it's persuasion? I'll assume it's not intimidate.
I don't know. That's up to you. But I would assume persuasion. That would have been my assumption. But...
Yeah. I'm not proficient in that. It'll be fine.
It gives
Everything
him
will be fine.
advantage, or what does that Eagle Splendor do?
Advantage.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So
Alright.
on any charisma
Hey.
check. So.
Yeah, sure. It'll be fine. Here we go. Is it going to roll?
I see it in the bar.
It did.
I see it.
I don't.
Oh no!
I don't see it.
Uh-oh.
It's a strong 12.
I was going to say, we can, since that was show, we can roll again.
Yeah.
Why is it not coming?
Right, it might need to
It's a
scroll up
12.
and down a bit.
12.
Okay, that's... I mean, it could have gone worse. It could have gone better. That's fine.
So what do you say?
So...
Did you prepare an actual speech?
I can't do it justice, so I wrote it like a narrator, because I am not making that mistake.
Okay.
So, Neuraxis clambers atop the cage, his armor glinting faintly in the firelight, and turns to the assembled crowd. Draconians, Ravenites, countrymen, lend me your ears. Silence falls slowly over the assembled throng. I come before you to bury the horrors of Voragal. The damage it had done lives on even now, on our flesh and in our hearts. Many of you will not know me. I am Captain Neuraxis Grand Leader. He paused as muttered recognition of his clan name passed through the crowd like a wave. I stand before you, many, today, to make one request. That 1 year from now, on this spot, we will gather all who wish to come. Martial, magical, material, siling, brooding clutchmates, it will take all kinds. He gazed around the crowd, hoping to see even a single... Let all who hear us on that day tremble, for they will know we are the last of Draconians, the first anew. We are the scions of dragons, survivors all, and we know no fear. His clenched fist clanged against his breastplate in his sharpest salute. Draconia for all, punching his fist into the air. Draconia forever. He roared the words into the sky as if challenging the thunder itself, shrieking his death weapon at an uncaring world.
There is a long beat of silence you do see a couple of Dragonborn in the back of the crowd leave. The rest of them stay. And Neuraxis, as you look out over this gathering of far more than you expected.
Yeah.
There is a figure in the crowd that was not there before. And it is a red plate armored, helmeted figure with golden eyes peering out of the helmet. You see the hint of tusks poking out from the bottom lip. And it's carrying your axe. And it raises its axe, and you know it, it's Forsaken Edge. And you hear, "Be fearless. Never flee. Stand tall in the face of corruption, and you will welcome all of them into our ranks." And they pull the helmet off, and the half-orc woman you've seen before, that you know as the Red Knight, nods at you, puts the helmet back on, and the last thing you hear as the vision fades of this person in the middle of the crowd is, "Don't let the sword, deep under Gat's shadow, divert you from your path. Don't listen to its whispers." And when your senses come back to you, those who stayed are cheering with you. And your axe is glowing.
Now we have Dragon Jesus.
I think that's like the end of that was the cue for the like big it's like a like a Guy Fawkes effigy of Voragal. It's like kicked and beaten like through the crowd, just being smashed around and yeah.
Yep, you see a bunch of them take punches at it. There are claws that rake across, weapons, knives being chucked at it, just all manner of violence against this pretty massive, slightly terrifyingly accurate effigy of Voragal.
Yeah. Until eventually it just ends up on the bonfire. That's the like...
Okay. The rest of you, as you're seeing this moment happen with Neuraxis, it's inspiring. You know he's a fighter. You know he's talented. You know he's brave. That he's willing to stand out in front of the rest of you to take the hits so that you're spared. But this isn't battle. This isn't a fight. He's doing something very different, and it's heartening. This is a different kind of hope. He does. He holds the line for the entire party. And your trust in him is buoyed by the leadership that you're seeing here. This is also a rager of a party. And you're probably about to see Neuraxis get super drunk.
Yeah, it's like worse than drinking with Stone drunk.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. How long does this thing go on?
I'm not. I mean, Kima said we had it for the night,
You
or
had it for the
like.
night, yeah.
So I guess I just let them keep going. Like, as long as the food and drink is here, I mean, I will definitely stay. The party is free to leave, but I will definitely stay. It's like not glad handing, but just like being part of the spectacle.
There are a lot of Dragonborn who want your ear, Neuraxis, and Behar kind of helps to make them a little more orderly.
I say, yeah, like a lot of it will be leaning on Behar. Like, I led a small number of men for a small amount of time, and then everything went wrong. Not 150 people.
Yeah, she's old hand at this. Has no problem with getting people to straighten up, and not fall over themselves, or get too rowdy. She does also pull out a set of blueprints about how they would like to, her ideas on new takes on some of the architecture for Draconia.
Okay.
To kind of acknowledge the past, but also think a little bit towards the future as well.
Yeah, so it's like he's like looking at it and reading stuff over, and like it wasn't his like school. He was like war and combat. He wasn't like building and making things. So it's like you'll have to show Ulrin, obviously. I can't unilaterally make decisions. It's not that he's not making the choice, that he has no idea. It's like
there's a lot of hope here, but it's going to be difficult. I know that you're aware of that.
Honestly, I'd be happy to get a single piece back in the sky.
And if we
just
can't
one,
get it in the sky, if we have to build it on the ground,
it's still ours.
that's what I was hoping you would say. I have the ear of a couple of people near the council, and I'm going to start trying to make headway there. Part of my job with the Barnacle Bards is to protect them.
Yep.
But I don't know that they need me right now. So I'm going to work on this. You need to make a name. Make a name for yourself. Be the face for what we want to try to rebuild.
Yeah. Oh. And he like digs about in his pocket and pulls out one of Ulrin's rings. It's like, no, that one's too small. Like digs about again. Like, yeah. I mean, I've only got 8 more of these, but one of them should definitely be yours. And he just puts it in her hand.
Yeah, all right. That works. She slides it on the third finger on her right hand. You do get like a good look at this hand. She's lost the first knuckle of that finger. And she says, yeah, okay. I'll start gathering people up and try to figure out who's best. But if you run across people you believe are meant for leadership positions, you let me know. I trust your judgment.
I will let you know.
Okay.
I know none of these 150, like, at least as far as I'm aware, I know come up to me. So I'm just like, yeah, I will let you know.
It'll be a process. Now, if you're good, I'm gonna go get, like, sick drunk. Bye. And she kind of, like, is like, I need all the ale right here, now.
There's, like, 3 more people in that queue, and I don't know their names.
You're
okay.
fine.
And then, yeah, back to...
It's a long
back to, like,
night. It's
like
a
boozy
long
business
night.
meetings.
There you
with,
go.
like...
Yeah. Dragonborn boozy business meetings. It's a long night, Neuraxis, into the wee hours of the morning for you. But what you wind up with is a handful of ideas of where you could rebuild if it has to be back on the ground. Knowledge of a couple of Dragonborn sorcerers and mages who have an idea of how to recreate that magic that can put Draconia back in the sky. They have to figure it out.
Yeah.
But they have a starting point. And you now have a mental roster. Behar's going to tell you to not write it down, of people that you can start to lean on.
Yeah. Any of the wizards. Like, the first question is if they've seen his sister. Like, they probably haven't. But it's just like, just in case she's alive, I figure I should ask. Like,
I mean, there's one. It's a younger golden dragonborn sorcerer who says, I heard a rumor that there was kind of an enclave of some dragonborns who had holed up, but it's to the south in Taldore. More like tribal. You know how we used to be very tribal? They've gone back to those roots a little bit and just decided to make their own little space.
I see.
I mean, I heard there were some wizards and sorcerers there, but
yeah, maybe.
It might be a point to look at.
There were 9 of us. I'm sure. I hope more than just me survived. I'm sure they're fine.
Out on the map. She points you out towards the edge of the Rife and Mist jungle, outside of Byroden.
Okay.
That's where she's heard they've holed up.
Tribal Dragonborn. Okay.
It's a start.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. It's a night. It's a night to remember. That's for certain.
Well,
Yep.
Sorry, I was just going to say, while the party is going on, I want to, like, people are eating the pastry.
They're very good. They're really good. You guys, a couple of you spot Hazel start to, like, a little wide-eyed.
And I want to see. I want to see if Dragonborn are eating.
Yeah, there's some.
I'm sure. Yeah.
There's some. They
Oh,
seem
okay.
to prefer the glazed pastries over the, like, jam-filled ones.
Unless it's strawberry jam.
Yeah, they're not touching the jam ones. There's plenty of strawberry ones there.
I want to see. I was like, I told Narexis the pastries were a good idea. Then I grab a strawberry one and, like, join the party.
Oh dear.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Hazel gets her sugar high on a little bit.
Oh god.
And by the end of the evening, actually, just like running around with everyone, being drunk, and just like.
Yeah, there's probably a point in all the drinking.
Draconia!
Blown up in the air by like a Dragonborn, just like.
There's a couple of questions shot your way, Neuraxis, about the super hyper, super drunk halfling that's running around yelling about Draconia.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
She's,
Is she?
Yep, she's a friend of mine. She has a very
Gotcha.
fast metabolism.
She's moral support.
It's
You know how we used to keep the hatchlings away from the honey farm?
Yeah. Oh. Oh. That's a wow. I mean, okay. Yeah. A couple of them just nod and they're like, okay. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
No, I think that was like I wasn't expecting anything like that. Well, it's like there's some like panicking that there's not enough food, but like otherwise it's just yeah.
Behar sees to that. You're getting the sense that she's extremely resourceful, and anticipatory in a way that you definitely are going to be leaning on in the future.
Yeah, it's just like it's nice to be around so many of. Probably been like that whole year, he's maybe seen like 2 or 3 at once at most, because everyone just scattered.
Right. Okay. Volcar, did you want to go see Stone and Theona perform?
Yep.
Okay.
I leave early in order to be on time for that.
Okay.
I'll go with him as well.
All right. They're at the Golden Phoenix. Does anyone else want to go?
Oh no, I'm watching over Hazel.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Bad idea.
That
Yes.
is fair.
Someone else is babysitting. I can get drunk.
Yeah, I'm babysitting Hazel.
Yeah, the dwarves can head off and you guys say goodnight and you walk back. Party's still raging at the fort in Amman. It's starting to get there's now like thick smells of meat being cooked and sweets and lots and lots of alcohol. And you guys head over to the Golden Phoenix and you get there just in the door as Stone and Fiona get onto the stage.
Oh, good.
What, that, was it an elven lady that I met at the bar during my...
Half-elven.
Half-elven? When was her performance on? Because I wanted to be there for that as well.
Well, that's...
I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Wednesday.
It was Tuesday. Tuesday in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find my...
Because if it was earlier, then I would have probably left the party to go see her. Because I promised.
It was a little bit earlier, yeah.
Okay. Then I would have probably left earlier.
Okay.
And to go see her, just to keep my word, so.
Sure. You do manage to get there just a few minutes into her performance. Yeah, it's a half-elven woman. She is a fire eater. And she also performs with a dancer and a bard you kind of remember from being there earlier in the day during the bar fight.
Mm-hmm.
A human woman with short blonde hair. And as this half-elven woman, Zelvry, starts blowing fire, and the dancer... It's a much more fluid version of the performance you guys witnessed earlier. From the other fire eaters and the dancer. And then this bard in the background starts to play her fiddle. And as she's playing and the performance goes on, you start to see bits of blue and purple energy float off the bard. And you recognize it's dancing lights. You recognize the spell. And they start, like little pixies, start to flutter around everyone in the bar. And then the lights... in the house, all the candles and the lanterns start to go down, and the only things that you guys see are the fire eater, the dancer, and the bard playing in the middle of all of this magical energy. And it's a hell of a show. They definitely, if no one outperforms them, they've definitely won the night. For certain. They're asked for encore, and they can only do one. House rules. And they have to get off the stage, and she spotted you during the performance and comes over, smells like smoke and and ale, and like she's been in the bar for a while, and sits down and, that was amazing. That was amazing. It was amazing, right? Please tell me it was good. I can't tell.
Oh yeah, that was quite a fantastic performance you did.
Yes! Yes! I owe her, and she points at the bard, I owe her so many drinks. So many drinks. That was amazing. Oh, you came!
Of course I did. I made a promise.
So few people are good on their promises. I'm so impressed right now. Thank you. That's very nice of you. I need all the drinks! And like all these drinks start being slammed down in front of you guys. She's like, I'm getting shit-faced. Are you getting shit-faced?
I don't know about shit-faced, but I'll work there for you.
I'm getting shit-faced. Let's do this. And just start slamming them back. After a little while, you do see, as you guys talk, you see Volkar come in. And Volkar, you're there just as Stone and Fiona start to get on the stage.
Hey.
Zelvry, who's with you, Ulrin, grins, and she's like, oh, Barnacle Bards, my favorite! And kind of spins around in her chair and sits there to watch. When she spins, she's a little, like, off to one side, just a touch. Spun a little too fast. Volkar, where do you want to go to watch them?
as close as possible.
Okay. There's a couple seats towards the front. You know, it's that rule, like, no one wants to sit in front of teacher. So there's a few chairs up in the front. And Fiona sees you and nods and smiles, and Stone's like, brother. And they start up this.
I raise my fist in encouragement.
Yes. And they start up this song, and it is a version of one that you actually were there on the night that they wrote it.
Ooh.
So it has this nostalgia factor to it for you. They've tweaked with the verses a little bit, changed a couple words in the chorus to make it flow better. But it's a fiddle and a flute, and it never gets old watching Stone play this fiddle. This big man with this very delicate instrument.
Yeah.
And about halfway through, he gets up and he starts dancing a jig. And then she gets up and she starts dancing in time. And then you start to see other people get up from their seats and grab their friends or total strangers and start twirling around the bar. Tables and chairs are hastily moved out.
I grab the nearest person.
There you go. You grab a... Let's see who you grab. You grab a...
Please be Ulrin. Please be Ulrin.
No, Ulrin is not in the front.
You grab the half-orc woman who was seated at the table next to you, and she's like, fuck yeah, let's do this. And kind of literally sweeps you off your feet and pulls you off into the crowd.
Oh god, she's strong too.
Yeah, she's pretty big. Ulrin, Zelvry grabs you, and you guys spin off into the crowd. It's just a little drunk, but drunk enough to make it funny. And this whole bar is alight with dancing and singing, and Stone and Fiona are holding court up on the stage. And when the song comes to its riotous, beautiful end, Zelvry stops and she's, I lost and I don't even care. Without a doubt, they win the night. There was no question in your mind, Volkar, but...
Well, of course. I mean, the only one who could possibly beat them is me, so...
Yes!
That's what he thinks, anyway.
And it is a magical moment in an entire day of magical moments, and it's a hell of a way to end the night.
Yeah, I tell my dance partner that my show is on Wednesday.
Oh shit! I was gonna stay here all night anyways, so yeah, I'm in. Cause I actually just got here not that long ago, so yeah, awesome. I'm buying you a drink. Come on, let's go.
Good. Awesome. Excellent.
She tells you a couple stories. She fought in the war against Thordak. She actually was in Amman when it happened, and tells you a couple of war stories, fighting wyverns and wyvern riders, and hacking off their stinger tails and cutting their heads off, and it's bloody and violent, and she's freaking loving the whole thing.
I listen very, very intensely.
It's good stories. She's a pretty good storyteller.
Stories.
She's a pretty good storyteller. Her name's Val. And she's like, yeah, all right, friend, and you guys chat.
Yeah.
It's a good night. You guys are in the middle of a festival that it's going pretty good so far. Anything else you guys want to do as that night closes?
Well, I don't want to get too drunk.
Okay.
I
Fair
get
enough.
drunk after my show, but I still drink.
All right. Anyone else?
I get a little drunk. Not like I've been just a steady buzz all day.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
It's maintenance.
Decently drunk, shall we say?
There you go. It's maintenance.
and as we finish up the night, like I'll just turn to Zelvry and like take her hand and give her one of my symbol little business cards. Because that's literally what it is. And I'll just be like, if there's anything that you ever need, smithed or craft or anything like that, just feel free to find me. I don't know where we'll be going, but find me sometime if you ever need help with anything. It's a pleasure meeting you, and I wish you the best. And
so will this lead me to you?
No, not yet.
That came out creepy. Sorry.
Yeah. It's all right. I've had people ask that before, but
oh, phew, okay.
no, I'm trying to work on something that it would like send me a message, but that's rather complicated.
That's a good idea, though. I mean, I really like that thought. So just for armor, or if I want to buy you another drink?
If you want to what?
Is this just if
you
I
ut out at the...
Oh, sorry. Is this just if I want to find you because I need armor, or is this more like, hey, you want to go out remember, she's a bad flirt. Remember that, because when you met her, she was not good at it.
That's true, but Ulrin is also just as bad.
Flirt.
I mean, you know.
I went from creepy to weird, and I really need to fix that. Okay, I'm just gonna hold on to this.
It's not weird, it's not creepy, it's fine. I mean...
she puts it, like, in a pouch on her side. She's like, okay, so, Ulrin, Allhammer, got it. I mostly stay in Amon. Sometimes I travel out to Westron. So if you're ever that way, I don't have a calling card. I play in taverns.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't mean for that to get weird or anything.
That got...
If it was meant to, it wouldn't be weird.
If you ever if you need anything, just let me know. I mean, it's difficult to meet people who are friendly around these parts who don't just, you know, who don't want to just use you for something or need healing all the time. You know, there's no like clericsmeet.com or anything like that. You know, I can't.
Clerics Mingo.
I've been doing a lot of swiping left, and it's just really hard to swipe right these days, and especially on like it's just a big town. But you know what I'm saying. Like it's just
I
people to talk to.
The first third of that, and then you lost me. I might also slightly be drunk. So here's what I am thinking. Oh my god, you guys are awful. I hate all of you. I can't. This is happening over here. I can't look at it. Yeah, no. This is it's. I know what you're saying. And I'll be serious for a second. It's just you're right. It's nice to meet friendly people. The bard's life is not the easiest thing in the world. And so yeah, thanks for being nice and you know, not thinking that I'm too weird. That's helpful.
It's no problem.
Thanks.
Oh.
This is the thing you can't see on the video, y'all, is the chat that's happening off to the side.
You can include the chat in the video.
Oh my god. I usually don't because there's there's whispers and stuff happening.
Right.
But
crosstalk, we would never.
Hashtag allhammer all the time. Clericsmingle.com. I just hope that anyone who watches this video can appreciate the fact that I'm reading this. Find other single priests in your area that don't want to join their cult. And then lots of smiley faces. I hate all of you. Horrible. It's great. So yeah, you guys pass a friendly night. Volcar, Fiona, and Stone come over to you. And it's like a continuation of that first night that you had with them the week prior.
I introduced my my new friend to them.
Oh, Val? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she and Stone immediately are like, hey! And they start swapping stories and jokes, and It's good. It's all good.
Good.
If you guys want to Volcar, hey, you want to get that performance on there?
Get what?
Get that performance going Wednesday morning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's do that. You guys pass a good, for some of you, slightly drunken or extremely drunken night. Wake up,
Yeah.
little blurry.
Neuraxis is fragile and like visibly, like physically, like if you touch him, he goes greener than he normally is. Oh no, it's fine. Everything is fine. I'll be fine.
I don't
Yeah,
think you're
same
supposed to
here.
go that way. Oh.
Careful not to throw up acid.
Oh.
It's poison. That's the problem. It's
Right, poison.
a
not acid.
15-foot cone of poison would just
Holy shit.
eject. Like,
God. That's the
Yeah,
thing
that's
you guys
bad.
don't see.
yeah,
Some projectile vomiting. Poison.
yeah.
Oh.
Imagine if you threw up and you were capable of a breath weapon. Just apply that logic.
Yeah.
That's nasty. I didn't even think of that. Ugh.
There's like fires breaking out all over the city. Just
You guys in the
Ow.
morning, it's a little quieter on this third morning. There are some people definitely like Neuraxis and Hazel feeling some pain.
Yeah.
So things are a little calmer. Volcar, what time do you head over to the Golden Phoenix?
Well, I definitely want people to wake up a bit and get over their their hangover. So, but it has to be because that's my stuff. So I was thinking like 11.
Okay. You wait. The streets start to slowly fill up. Lot of clearly red-eyed, hungover folks. But there is a good crowd in the Golden Phoenix, and more people come in after you. There's a bit of a queue to get in the door. And like the competition says, it's 24/7. So as you walk in, there are 2 bards and a sword eater finishing a performance. And just as you come in, I can't think of the word right now, the organizer for the event sees you and says, "You ready?"
Hell yeah.
All right, let's do this. Stage is yours in about 2 minutes. So you wait.
Oh,
And
I just
then-
go in a corner. I make sure my SAS is all tuned up.
Okay. And the stage is all yours.
I kind of watch the crowd. I don't want too many people with headaches in here.
Okay.
Because
Come
if they have headaches, it's gonna be bad.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have a certain song you're performing?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh god.
Yes.
Let me just find it in my little document.
Oh god.
I love it. Oh my god.
What do you mean it doesn't need more blast beats? Oh no.
What?
So ready.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm assuming we had like all the usual breakfast accoutrement before we set out, just like eggs and everything else.
As much as you can handle.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I was like, whatever I get, please no sugar, please. No, thank you. Just like bacon and eggs or something, and lots of salt.
There you
Wait,
go.
you don't want you don't want the honey
Coffee.
marmalade?
Coffee.
Ah! Ugh.
Okay.
All right.
So again, I'm not gonna sing the whole thing, but I will post it in our Discord, and
All
if
right.
anyone watching the video wants the full lyrics, just contact us, I guess.
Yeah.
So, as usual, I start with a little speech. And I say, as I adjust my sass a little bit, as I tune it, I say, well, the festival is well underway. Enjoying yourselves, people.
Woo!
A couple of people are like, yeah, we're getting trashed over here, man. Song.
There's no shouting. There's just like hammering fist on the table.
Yeah.
But like, oh no.
I heard many good songs in the air since it started, but I haven't heard too many about our heroes. You know, the ones that got all those statues all over town now, all over the country. And I just happen to have a song all about them. A song all about Vox Machina.
Yeah.
Woo!
And even though I wasn't here for the battle, I know quite a few of you were. And I know many of you have fought the dragon's forces.
Val is off to the side. Yeah.
You all are brave men and women, but none braver than Vox Machina. So I want to hear you people when I call them out. When I call them out their allies, I want to hear a fuck yeah.
A couple people in the back are already like, fuck yeah, man.
No, not yet.
Woo! Fuck yeah!
And of course, the song is.
Play Stairway!
The song is, of course, based on the Team America theme.
Oh, God.
Free bird. Oh no.
It goes like, Vox Machina, fuck yeah! And, there's a whole bunch of lyrics. And I'm gonna ask you people, that's all of you here. I'm gonna need you to participate a little bit because you are gonna be the crowd.
All right,
And you're
guys,
gonna
we can do
say
this.
fuck yeah.
We can do this.
Is that good?
Yes. Fuck yeah.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of head banging going on. Little beat on the sass. There you go, Vexeldan!
Fuck yeah!
Hey, come on, get in the beat, guys. Vexeldan!
Fuck yeah!
Vexelia!
Fuck yeah!
Trinket!
Fuck yeah!
Rock Strong Jaw!
Fuck yeah!
Feel it!
Fuck yeah!
Sternland!
Fuck yeah!
Festival för Grekland van Nilsson då ska du rolla third!
Fuck
It goes like this for a while, for a bit. A few more names. I named Uriel, Allura, Kima.
Better be Tiberius.
A bunch of names from the Grayskull Keep guards. Gilmore's Dorius Goods. Yashari, Whitestone, Singorn, Ealing Potions. Alcohol, Winter Chris.
Yeah.
And towards the end, it's like the Crash, Books. Yeah.
Books. What?
Only Alicia yelling fuck yeah to that.
Yeah, it's pretty much just Alicia when I get down to Books. And, and with a nice little solo and stuff.
Woo! Yeah.
The whole point is to get the crowd to participate as much as possible. Let me just roll my performance.
I'm gonna start a circle pit.
Oh god.
Oh,
And that's gonna be a 26
Yeah.
with the
yes.
expertise.
Yes, 26.
Wall of death. Wall of death.
Wall of death. A good old-fashioned dwarven wall of death. Let's do it, boys.
Like heavy plate mail, just bam.
Yes.
It's just you chainmail and scale mail, just smashing it.
Volkar, at this point, everyone who's armed has their weapons out and is banging them on the table. So there's just blades as far as you can see. There are swords being slapped against shields. A couple of people take their bows out and one arrow accidentally goes pew across the room and no one really seems to notice. It doesn't hit anybody.
Ah!
Wow.
There is a like just a riotous, cacophonous. There you go, top tip. Fuck yeah. Just absolutely everybody into it all at once. And as you close, as you bring everybody in on that last beat, there's a figure beside you.
What?
It's a small...
Visible to
him.
Okay.
Swathed in purple and black. No features visible. And you hear... It turns to you and it says, "Oh yes, you get visions too. Like the rest of your party. Did you really think I would leave you out?"
Who, me?
This is why I like you, Volkar Black Furnace. Child of the stone, right? But you don't acknowledge it. Spinner of stories. Player of songs. You've always forged your own path, haven't you?
Yeah. Who the fuck are you?
We have always liked you.
Oh.
We would like to help you.
Okay.
You already seek out tyranny, right?
Yeah.
You seek out atrocity and corruption.
Yeah, all that.
What if I can point you towards other people who are committing crimes against innocence?
Sure. Point them out, I beat them down.
Then we have an accord. I will show you corruption that disguises itself as kindness. I will show you who to fight and who to destroy. And then you see them hold out this blank scroll. And you know the size of a normal scroll, right? It's like this. This
Okay.
unfurls and hits the floor. And keeps going. And keeps going. All the way to the end of where your sight can reach.
Holy shit.
And they say, I need you to join with your grinners when the time is right. And I'll be sure to let you know when that is. And
I
they're
bet
gone.
you are.
They're gone
What?
before you can
What?
even get it out.
What?
When your vision comes back to you, the crowd is absolutely like, this is like a barroom brawl that you've started, but more like people are so into this fist pumping thing that they're slapping each other on the shoulders and the back so hard they're knocking each other over. They're into it. It's like a friendly fight. No one's angry.
Right.
It's a mosh pit.
Yes, it's a mosh pit. Thank you.
Yeah, mosh pit.
It's the
Perfect.
fantasy version of a mosh pit. That's exactly what's happening right now.
Exactly the kind of thing I wanted to make the crowd do.
There's coin being thrown at you. There's flowers being chucked your way. Someone's pants come off and get thrown on the stage. Like, there's just stuff flying everywhere. Chaos.
I just bowed to everyone while thinking that was the creepiest fan I have ever met.
And you hear a riotous "fuck yeah" from the back of the room that moves toward the front toward you in a wave. over and over and over.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! Oh, there we go. It takes a while to get that place to calm down because even the arms of Amon are into it. So when you get the guards going, I don't know that stability is going to come very quickly.
It's not good when security starts getting involved.
Especially in that manner.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything else that you guys want to do?
Let me check the schedule again.
This day.
Ah.
Well, the Barnacle Bards are performing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is that T-Rex is trying to nab you guys before
Yeah.
that.
They could invite T-Rex to go.
I insist that we wait.
Yeah, I want to see them too. It was so long since we met them, so
Yeah.
maybe we can be like, come on, T-Rex, just this one show.
Just a little
And then
bit. He
we'll-
can wait.
yeah.
It's fine.
And then
It's
we'll-
just
Maybe
God.
after the show
Here,
we
we're
leave.
here,
Come
T-Rex,
on.
have a drink.
One. Yay.
He rolled a 1.
He has no resistance whatsoever.
Just as long as we get to
It's
Eric.
like, you want to see them, dude, how much you?
I know. I mean, I
Before
know
midnight.
Fiona. I
We
know.
can teleport there.
Yes,
Yeah,
We
before
have
midnight,
a
it's
few
10
more
p.m.
minutes.
We're fine.
That's fine. Just don't. And he looks at Narax and he says, just please don't. Are you done vomiting? I really can't handle it.
No.
No. I'm gonna wait outside. I am not dealing with that at all. But he actually hovers inside the door.
Okay, good.
And you guys watch the Barnacle Bards as a group perform. And they take up not only the entire stage, but they spread out into the tavern. And perform and do pretty well. They're very polished. They are not of Volkar's energy. This is an extremely polished group of performers whom should not jive well together with their various backgrounds and musical styles. But it's almost like this, when you pair an orchestra with a rock band, it kind of starts to sound like that. And they do this incredible number that everyone knows, of course, really well. And you guys, who is the highest passive? Is it Ulrin?
Play Freebird.
Play Freebird. What is passive? I have that stat sheet for a reason.
If it's passive perception, yeah, probably already. I mean, he's
It's actually Naraxis.
Yeah, I've got 15.
By 1.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Naraxis. The reason I'm asking is because Naraxis, as you're watching this really great performance, and you kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see a figure in all black that you recognize. And she looks at all of you and nods and says, gets closer and says, just remember, we have an agreement. And then leaves.
I hold up the hand if I see her too. If
Yeah,
Naraxis
I mean,
points
she got
out.
close enough. Naraxis was just the
Yeah.
first one to kind of spot her from the other side of the room.
Yeah, I'd like seeing it's the kick under the table at the point, like.
Yeah.
Ow!
And I
What the?
Sorry.
I was watching the show.
Yeah.
I felt
And
that was
then I
Hazel's
hold-
leg. I'm sorry. Like,
my leg is higher up, and
That's
yeah, and then I hold out the hand where I cut myself and nod to her, and then I try to stop myself from puking.
Hangers are a bitch. Yeah. She just nods and leaves. The festival is still going, but it's time for all of you to go because Tyrax is starting to herd you guys like cats. It's like, all right,
Yeah.
we gotta go. I'm sorry, but
2
I'm
more
late.
minutes.
No, sorry.
I just tried to get to my buddies, my barnacle buddies, and tell them they did a good job, but I gotta go.
Okay, bye. Tyrax leads you guys out into the alley behind the tavern. He's like, I don't want to do this in front of people because we'll freak them out. And you guys are transported to the main hall of the Spire of Uric. And that's where we're going to end the session.
Ooh!
Ooh.
And that's when Volker realizes, wait, if we go to Jordan after that, what if I win? I'm going to get my prize?